is busted and has lost all of its grip. Need 4 filters for these wrinkles in this bumpy ass lip. Doing cute little poses and dance moves with my filtered out face. 56 years old, trying to give it away to guys half my age. Thank God for this technology that can make me look like a princess straight from Disney. I sure wish they had a filter or two that I could slap on this clapped out coochie. I'm sagging down like a bulldog's jaws, no tread or grip at all, left on them sugar walls. Cleared more pipes than Roto-Rooter, postmenopausal TikToker with a clapped down cooter. Safe to say my cunt facts will have a few alerts. Making myself available to any young dudes who wanted to smash Mama Church. With no motherly instinct or respect for myself, I tried to fill the void inside my heart with lots of dick and not much else, instead of working on my mental and emotional health. Pussy lips just a sagging like a bulldog's jaws, no grip or tread at all, left on my sugar walls. Drain more pipes than Roto-Rooter, postmenopausal TikToker with a clapped down cooter. Nothing else to offer and no value in myself. I chose to fill the void in my heart with many dicks and nothing else, instead of working on my mental and emotional health. Trying to act like a teenager in this 56-year-old frame. Embarrassment to my children and grandchildren without a hint of shame.
What's up? What's up? Oh, man. What a fucking day it's been. What's up, Tex? How you doing, man? Hey, just me. How you doing? Bro. So, I don't know, but I thought I seen somebody get exposed today about running around with a fucking alt account. I don't know. It damn sure looked like it was her. But I didn't figure it would take long though for people to start figuring out who was who. You can only hide behind alt accounts for so long before people start figuring out who you are. But when you run your fucking mouth, I thought that shit was funny. I just sat back and just kind of watched it unfold. And when this particular person was being called out, they tried they didn't deny it at first, but let's just say it was quite interesting to watch. What's up, British Bulldog? How you doing? Let me see here. Bulldog, let me ask you something. Since you're from over there, right? Have you been seeing any kind of headlines about Trump over there and them kind of like going their separate ways or anything? And the reason I asked that is because I watched that video last night and somebody else tried to tell me that that was kind of like fake news or whatever. And listen, just because you live in a different continent, that doesn't mean that we don't like you, you know? And if you get your feelings hurt over a song I played, I mean, Jesus Christ, man, some people just don't think for themselves. It kind of bothers me too, right? Because look, first thing when I wake up in the morning and I see somebody crying in the comments, it just kind of pisses me off. It's like, God dang, not another one of these, man. If I have a problem with you, I'll directly, you know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. Between Trump and your establishment over there, have they been talking anything in the papers? No, we're all together, British Bulldog. I get that. I don't mean it like that. But I'm saying, has your establishment been going at Trump in the newspapers, or has that not been a headline over there? The British Parliament. Ain't that where you're at? Unless I got it. I'm confused too, Dan. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to confuse you. I could have swore you was across the pond. That's why I asked that. My bad. My bad. Forget what I just asked you then. Hey, Robin, how you doing? Trying to find this video I just had pulled up. They do have a lot of Trump fucking shit over here. It's over in the UK. Okay. That's what I thought. I didn't think he was over in the United States. I just didn't know. And where the fuck did that shit go? Okay, yeah, this is it right here. Sorry about that. Let's watch this one right here.
Put Canada in the hot seat. Why? Because the operation in Caracas isn't just about Maduro. It's an opening salvo against the British Empire. Here's what the president said.
So we have to do something because we lost. The real number is 300,000 people, in my opinion. You know, they like to say 100,000. 100,000 is a lot of people, but the real number is 300,000 people. And we lost it to drugs, and they come in through the southern border, mostly the southern border. Plenty come in through Canada, too, by the way, in case you don't know.
But you're not supposed to notice that. The headlines covering that same press conference are focused on the usual targets, like this one in the New York Post.
What's up?
While the Empire's American propaganda arms want you focused on those usual suspects.
I don't know. I have to go out there and check it. I'm sure it's fucking cold out there, though. It's cold at the house for sure. That idiot don't know shit.
By Sunday, the Canadians had figured out what I just told.
That idiot wishes he could go live on a boat because that rent is fucking him up. That girl is renting him that trailer. That's not his fucking trailer. She just let him move back in because she feels sorry for his fucking bicycle pussy pedaling ass. What's up, Potential?
Told you. The editorial board of the Toronto Globe and Mail announced in their...
Hey, a 40-year-old man that don't have a car ain't got no business fucking trying to shame somebody if they do live on a boat. I mean, think about it for a minute.
Sunday editorial that Venezuela's fate is a warning to Canada. Meanwhile, the rest of the narrative is being played out by the press, like the New York Times, which says that this is another regime change.
So from what I gathered today, like everybody's been blaming BlackRock for having all the houses. And from what I gathered today, it's Blackstone. And they only own 3%. That most of the housing market supposedly is bought up by private citizens, and they're doing Airbnbs and shit with them.
Change operation out of the Bush playbook, and that it's going to split the MAGA movement. And of course, the New York Times' favorite new political figure.
Patrick, for some reason, I believe you, man. I mean, I don't know that to be 100%, but for some reason, I feel like you know what you're talking about.
Dear
More than I
Marjorie
do,
Taylor
anyway.
Greene played her part in feeding into the MAGA split narrative.
So they tried to convince me that this lady was trying to hitch her wagon to Trump, but I can't help but listen to what she said in her video that I played last night, the MAGA movement. So she wasn't claiming it. She was just announcing it. She didn't say our movement. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know this lady. All I know is she seems very intelligent.
Meanwhile, the Democratic Party is playing
I
its
haven't watched
assigned
her long
role
enough to
in the
make my mind
narrative,
up about it.
shrieking about Trump's actions, and some are already calling for his impeachment. But here's where it gets interesting. Some of
Which
Trump's
Trump said that himself. If the Democrats win the House, they're going to impeach him, which is going to be a shame. And you know, all these kids is like, what the fuck has Trump done? What's he done? What's he been able to do? What has he been able to freely do without the Democrats shooting it down? They ain't let him make any moves. So if you're complaining that Trump hasn't done enough for you, you might want to look at the Democratic Party if you're a Democrat. I'm just saying there's two sides to that coin. You know, and I listened to this one guy, he said, well, when you're in politics, you have to realize what's worth fighting for and what's not. Because they have this thing that they call a stall tactic. Because in 4 years, more than likely, whoever's the sitting president is going to be out of there anyway. So if they can just stall it for 4 years and nothing get done about it, they've won their way. They ain't even wasted time on it. And it's a fucking shame that they do us this way. Silver and gold prices soaring are a great indicator for the US dollar losing strength. I believe that too, brother. I believe that too. And like I said last night, anytime you see scrap metal prices go up, there's usually a war coming.
opponents, like the former head of Britain's MI6 and walrus man John Bolton, immediately recognized that what the U.S. did in Venezuela was not a regime change operation. They're actually onto something. It isn't regime change. It's a surgical strike against the British Empire's irregular warfare, and a key component of that, which we have long called Dope Inc., the nexus of narcotics trafficking, terrorism, and the City of London's centered banking system. And today we're going to break that down. I'm Susan Kokinda. I've been tracking this since the 1970s, watching how the offshore banking operation was set up to sidestep regulation, sovereignty, and law enforcement. And I'm here to tell you that for the first time, someone is taking that on, and it's Donald Trump. So if this sounds like your kind of fight, please hit those like, share, and subscribe buttons so we can reach more people. Here's what we're going to cover today. First, it's not regime change and the empire.
How many of y'all ever kind of glance at the Young Turks, just out of curiosity?
Knows it. Second, how the empire's operations of dirty money is now in the crosshair, and the Russians know it, and how Trump is deploying to defeat all of these imperial operations.
Hey, I tried to tune into them last night for just a few minutes, and man, I just couldn't stomach it because they were just hate, it seemed like, no matter what. I don't know. When somebody is bound to determine to, no matter what somebody's doing, they try to make it look bad. It's too much for me. Like I've said before, I don't care who the president is. They got to have, yeah, that's about what I thought too, Texas. I couldn't take it, man. Like they were saying that Donald Trump was just wanting to go to Iran to save them people over there just to kind of look good. And I'm like, come on, man. I don't know, man. They were talking about that lady in Minnesota. Yes, I feel bad for that lady. I don't want to see nobody get killed, but you cannot interfere with them people. Anytime you go up against law enforcement officers and you do not obey what they say, you're taking a chance. I mean, you have to accept responsibility. If you play with gasoline and a lighter and you get burned, it's not the gasoline's fault. Sometimes it just makes you wonder what people are thinking.
misconception right now. Many former MAGA allies, Candace Owens, Marjorie Taylor Greene, are screaming that this is neocon regime change 2.0. They're just looking at the surface or outright lying. But listen to Secretary of State Marco Rubio. He told us exactly what this is.
I want to start with this big picture question. Is the United States now at war with Venezuela?
There's not a war. I mean, we are at war against drug trafficking organizations. It's not a war against Venezuela. You cannot continue to have the largest oil reserves, in the world under the control of adversaries of the United States, not benefiting the people of Venezuela and stolen by a handful of oligarchs around the world, including inside of Venezuela, but not benefiting the people of that country.
Did you catch that? He didn't blame socialism. He didn't blame communism. He blamed oligarchs and drug trafficking organizations. Now, that takes us back to Trump and his targeting of Canada, which no one seems to want to talk about. Because when you put the words oligarchs and drug trafficking organizations in the same context, you aren't just talking about the cartels in Mexico or Colombia. You're talking about key characteristics of the British Empire, which is the epitome of oligarchy. Or to put it another way, the rule of the few, which is what oligarchy means. And when it comes to drug trafficking organizations, the British Empire has been the most notorious entity in the world.
So just like with the election and stuff, man, we all seen what they did. They tried their damnedest to keep that man from being reelected. And that's what all the shit was about the courts and all that. If he would have never announced he was going to run again, I doubt he'd have ever had to go back to court. Candace is critically insane. Science needs to study that lady's brain.
When it comes
some of the shit she says is crazy for sure. For sure.
To making money off of drug trafficking, going back over 200 years.
I still like
including the notorious opium wars of the 19th century. This has never stopped. It's just taken a new form. And that's the importance of Canada in this picture. It is run by the empire's favorite central banker, Mark Carney. And it is the major political outpost for the crown in North America, used for drug trafficking, as the president mentioned, illegal immigration, and terrorism. Unlike, say, someone like Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum, whom Trump accurately characterized as terrified of the cartels, Carney has actually facilitated the financing arm of the cartels in his former role as the head of the Bank of England.
And I wonder how
While no one else is picking up on the Canada angle, some interesting folks who are not exactly Trump supporters are picking up on another aspect of this, on the fact that what the U.S. did in Venezuela is not regime change. Let's start with the former head of MI6, Sir John Soros. He isn't clutching his pearls about democracy. He recognizes this for what it is. What Trump did is a demonstration of raw power that bypasses the empire's rules-based order.
Well, first of all, I think I'd be cautious about using the phrase regime change. The Americans have abducted the leader of Venezuela, Maduro, and taken him to the US to stand trial. But they are now already dealing with the regime. The army remains in power, the legal structures of the regime remain unchanged, and they're already talking to Delcy Rodriguez, the vice president who's been sworn in as the new president of Venezuela, and distance themselves from the opposition. So this isn't the sort of regime change of the sort that we saw in Iraq, and is commensurate with the clear reluctance by Trump to put large-scale forces on the ground.
Sir John admitted this operation.
See, I wondered why Trump didn't flood Venezuela with U.S. military, and that kind of explains it. He's not trying to change anything over there. He just wants the drug dealer, which I don't see how the vice president ain't with him too, Maduro is what I'm saying. I don't see how his vice president ain't right there in the cell next to him. Because if one was doing it, they both were doing it.
In his new territory, he noted that Washington is already dealing with Maduro's successors and that the structures of the country remain. He knows this isn't Iraq. It isn't Tony Blair's regime change. It's something else. And he's not alone. Here's John Bolton.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
But let's be clear, there's a big difference between getting Maduro and removing the regime. Right now, facts are scarce, that's for sure, but the regime is still in power. And Trump, inexplicably today at his news conference, took a shot at the Nobel Peace Prize winner.
I'm starting to figure that out, Patrick. But if you listen to all these people, they're trying to say that they're just doing it for raw earth minerals, and that ain't what he's doing. He's trying to cut these people off in their ways of being able to make money. He's trying to squeeze them, is what he's doing, for a lack of a better term.
Leader of Venezuela's opposition, Mrs. Machado, said she didn't have the trust of the Venezuelan people.
And see, that's why you can't listen to the regular news, right? And I'm sure you're already hip to that just by the way you're talking. But when you watch the regular news, it's all about the minerals and this and that. And that's really not the case.
So I think there's a lot of
He's trying to choke people's
lack of
money
clarity,
off,
to say the least, in Trump's thinking on this. And it would be a hollow victory indeed if we snatched Maduro but left his regime in place.
When MI6 and John Bolton are admitting that this is not standard regime change, and Trump's allies are confused, you know you're watching a higher level of warfare. And this is exactly why you need to be plugged into Promethean Action. While so-called MAGA
what a way to get a motherfucker to do what you want, though, right? You go over and snatch the president, you lead the vice president over there, and you're like, hey, you don't do what we tell you, you're going to be next, motherfucker. I bet he doesn't double-cross Trump. John Bolton's an idiot.
Sponsors are screaming
I don't
regime
know them
change,
people.
but the former head of MI6 is calmly explaining that this is something entirely different. Who do you think actually understands what's happening? We've been tracking British imperial operations and irregular warfare for decades. We don't react. We don't chase headlines. We understand the enemy's playbook because we've studied it and fought it since the 1970s. So if you're tired of being confused by people who you think are on your side, subscribe to our free newsletter at Promethean Action. We'll help you see what Trump is actually doing so you can defend it and explain it to others. So head on over to Promethean Action and subscribe to our free newsletter. Now, here's what Trump is really going after. If this is a war on drug trafficking organizations and oligarchs, as Rubio says, then it is automatically a war on the global banking system because you can't separate the two. The target isn't just jungle labs and drug boats. It's the city of London. Let's remember where Venezuela is. It borders the Caribbean. What else is in the Caribbean? The origin point for the infamous system of offshore banking established directly by the British.
Hey, you know what? I went to Bermuda, and I want to say Bermuda is controlled by them too, ain't they? What's up, Yankees?
Back in 1960, the largest banking houses in London, working in partnership with the government and the Exchequer, established 14 completely secretive secrecy jurisdictions. These are the offshore banking centers that now hold between $50 and $75 trillion, with all 50 of the world's largest banks operating within them. These offshore centers exist outside the control of sovereign governments. They're secret, they're unregulated, and they facilitate illegal activity. What we once had, a legitimate regulated banking system, has been transformed into a criminal enterprise. And interestingly, the Russians have known this for years and have been more vociferous about it than any Western government. In a 2014 speech, Viktor Ivanov, then Russia's top drug enforcement official, laid it out clearly in a Moscow conference. He said, "This allows us to confidently assert that narco money is the foundation of the modern financial system. It is not surprising that during the first peak of the financial crisis of 2008-2009, Antonio Costa from the UN announced that the top banks in the world dumped in around $352 billion of narco dollars to use for interbank borrowing to address the critical shortage of liquidity." And he goes on to make clear that the global financial system needs drug money to survive. The very existence of the global financial bubble, he said, is based on precisely this opportunity for banks to attract liquid narco money. In fact, this garbage fertilizes the present economic system.
Damn.
Now, this is a good time to remember that Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent recently commented that 50% of his job involves issues of national security. Now, think about it. Since we started targeting drug boats and lighting up the communications channels of the cartels and their financiers, I bet Treasury Secretary Bessent has been just as busy as Pete Hegseth. Now, Venezuela doesn't have to be a major producer of drugs. It's the facilitator for the spider web of narcotics, illegal immigration, and terrorism. And it's well known that Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Iranian Revolutionary Guard operate out of Venezuela. So think about the implications. Trump's moves on Venezuela hits at this nexus, and it effectively attacks the liquidity of the offshore banking system established by the British in the 1960s. He's cutting off the flow of fertilizer to the globalist oligarchs. And this brings us to the real issue, which is the fact that we are fighting not regular warfare, but irregular warfare. For decades, the British Empire and globalist banks have waged war on us using non-state actors, NGOs, terrorists, cartels, all of which are protected by their...
Hey, let me ask y'all something. Do you think that's how they kind of knew what was going to happen during 9/11?
rules-based international order. A couple of my friends discussed this when they summed up their discussion on Venezuela. Here's what Crypto Rich and Tom Luongo said.
So here's Trump coming along, breaking the rules, which he has to do in order to defeat the international banking cartel, which is spawned out of the
What's
city
up,
of
Nickel
London.
G?
Well, you can't play by their rules when their rules-based order is all based on
It favors them.
and it favors them. They set the game board up. When if you want to beat somebody, you can't play the game by their rules. It's basic Sun Tzu. Never, never fight on ground prepared by your enemy.
Tom's right. You can't defend your nation if you play by their rules.
Exactly.
And the new national security strategy, which Rubio brought up in the above interview, says...
Hey, that's like the police. The police can't do shit unless they do it illegally, it seems like. How many times you ever see somebody get stopped and then end up getting busted when they were legal? They knew what they were looking for. They just had to have a reason to fucking do it, and they make shit up.
So, just a reminder, here's what the national security strategy says about the elite's rules. They lashed American policy to a network of international institutions, some of which were driven by outright anti-Americanism and many by a transnationalism that explicitly seeks to dissolve individual state sovereignty. So, on behalf of all sovereign nations, Trump has taken the fight directly to those institutions, both the so-called legitimate ones like USAID, the NGOs, the nonprofits, the universities, and the illegitimate side, the cartels, the criminal empires, and their financiers. We're no longer playing by the rules of the rules-based order. And don't forget, it was Canada's Mark Carney who said that just a few months ago. The old world of steady expansion of rules-based liberalized trade and investment, that world is gone. This is what this administration is taking on in their whole of government approach. No, it isn't regime change. It's the recognition that this is irregular warfare. And for the first time in the entire post-war period, the United States is actually fighting back. So here's the bottom line. While the talking heads and influencers are screaming about regime change and splitting MAGA, Donald Trump just declared war on the financial backbone of the British Empire. He's targeting the offshore banking system that has funded terrorism, cartels, and the destruction of sovereign nations for over 50 years. And he's just targeted Canada for good measure. The most ironic part? The enemy understands what Trump is doing better than many of his supposed allies. Sir John Sawers and John Bolton see it. And one of the other superpowers, Russia, has been warning about this for decades. But too many in the MAGA movement are stuck arguing about whether this is another neocon regime change, instead of recognizing that Trump has just launched the biggest offensive against the City of London since maybe the American Revolution. This is why we exist. Promethean Action has been in this fight since the 1970s. We've exposed the offshore banking apparatus. We've been warning about British irregular warfare when everyone else thought we were crazy. Now Trump is doing what we've been advocating for decades. And we're here to make sure that you understand it so that you can defend it and amplify it. Go over to the Promethean Action website and subscribe to our free newsletter, become a paying member, support us financially, and check out our resources. This has been your Monday Brief. Thanks for watching.
Please.
Hey, shout out to Copper Top for sharing that lady's channel with me. I appreciate the shit out of that. You know, when people get mad, man, because you're just like looking around and you're trying to figure out what the fuck's going on, I always find that kind of interesting, right? Why would you get mad if you're trying to educate yourself on something? China's using silver to attack the US dollar. Russia is using gold at the same time, backing their dollar with said materials and abandoning US dollars reserves slowly. And see, I seen that too, probably about a year and a half ago, Patrick. I played a clip on my other channel where one of the leaders of, I wanted to say it was South Africa, I'm not sure. But they said, if you have US dollars, get rid of it now. Well, you can. Well, it's still worth something because they knew. Everybody knows the game plan. We're the only ones that don't, man. But anyways, on to other shit. How's everybody doing today? I think Rusty is supposed to go live today. I'm not for sure. He was talking about he might, but I haven't seen an update on his channel. Hopefully he does, so he gives us something to fucking be entertained by. Let's see what Aunt Gail's talking about. They being fake, ain't they, Aunt Gail? She's talking about something else. Damn right. It is. Ain't that the fucking truth? And we all know who she's talking about, right? But let me tell you, That dude's gonna have bad days coming to him. And I don't wish that on nobody, but some people fucking just deserve it. Let me see. I'm just looking to see what's out. I don't know about any of y'all, but like Verizon's been down all day. Does anybody else have Verizon and their phone's been fucked up all day? Let's see what old Cletus is doing. Any of y'all watch Cletus McFarland? I'm cheering that dude on. Yeah, it's bad. I don't even know if my phone's back working. I'm hoping that it is, but I mean, then again, I mean, hell, I could use a little break anyway. You know what I mean, Patrick? After you get so old, you don't want to work a fucking 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That shit gets old after a while. Hold on, let me get the screen pulled up.
Sock too. I thought we saw that months ago.
Well, now they're.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2026 calendar overview. Real quick, I want you to drop any month of freedom ideas you have in the comments below, because we are planning right now and we don't want to miss if you've got a phenomenal
It ain't
idea.
just
And I wanted
Verizon.
to show you this new thing.
Hey, well, I think if I'm not mistaken, AT&T and Verizon are kind of merged together. I may be mistaken on that too.
I got from my office. Guy named
Give
Terry
me
sent
just a
this
minute. I'll be
in.
right back.
It's kind of like my Dale wall art, but it's for the Biff. So that's pretty cool. Added that on the wall. And here's what we got on the schedule for this year. I'm going to go down the list here. This weekend, January 17th, we got the Danger Ranger and Ultima race. That will be on Freedom Plus, and I will be racing. By the way, all these events I'm talking about, I will be at. These are all the events I'm at. There's actually more than what I'm talking about today. And you can see that on the Freedom Factory website, but these are the ones I'm going to. A little bit of clarification there. Now, the rest of January, we don't have anything. And one thing I do want to say before I get into February is that Sick Week, which is the event we did the Cheap Race Car Challenge on earlier this year, one of the best events of all time, Sick Week. We are not going to be able to make it this year. Unfortunately, I am in a wedding with a really close friend, and I can't bail on them. And I'm trying to spend a lot of time with my family anyway. And as much as I would love to be on Sick Week, I committed to this a long time ago, and the dates unfortunately conflicted. So I can't go on Sick Week, and the boys aren't going. I think maybe Mr. Sam is going, but I know the rest of the guys are not planning on going to Sick Week. But it's still going to be on Freedom Plus. It's still going to be awesome. But I just want to let you guys know why we're not going to be there. A lot of you guys showed up last year to see us. That was really nice. So getting into February, on the 14th, we'll be in Daytona, racing ARCA. On the 21st, we have an event coming to the Freedom Factory called the Florida Man Games. And this is essentially a test of who is the ultimate Florida man. Okay? It's literally that incredible of an event. That's going to be on Freedom Plus and in person. Apparently, it is an absolute blast, and the guys and I will be there competing in it. That's it for February. Into March, the 12th through the 14th, we have Summer Nats USA. First ever event. That's what we're building the Blackwing for. It's going to be burnouts, drag racing, and a lot more. So Summer Nats is not just a burnout event. It's a
Bro, Slayback, did you watch all that going down in Crazy Pants' fucking chat while ago? Earlier this afternoon?
festival. Is there music, George? I think there is.
I think there's everything you can think of.
And then there's like a drive route. There's a lot of cool stuff that's never been done before. And if it's anything like the Australia event, that's going to be a good one to go to. Also going to be on Freedom.
I'm going to tell you right now, the fucking, oh, it was wild, dude. It was wild. Anyways, I like them fucking Australian burnouts and shit. That shit is big. Dude, some of them cars that they got are fucking wild. I'd love it.
Plus. So
Big old
we'd love to
blower
have you in
sticking out.
person. Tickets are available now for that. Oh, and tickets are
Remind
available
me
now
of those
for the
little
Florida Man
Datsun
games.
cars.
So whether you're entering one of those or coming, tickets are available now. And all the tickets, guys, are going to be on thefote.com for the most part. Some of these might be on other websites, but I'll put ticket links in the description below. The Summer Nats is going to be awesome. I'll probably be at Cars and Coffee on March 21st at the Freedom Factory. Not sure about that. Then we have Tour of the...
Oh, somebody was calling out Tennessee accountability. And it was interesting for sure.
Construction, March 27th.
Oh,
and
Trolling
28th.
for Jesus
I
was
normally
there.
don't miss those because they're so
I just
fun.
sat back and just
And I
kinda
won the
watched.
last bus race, figure 8, so I should probably go back. That's it for March. Now, getting into April, we got some action here. Oh, and tickets are available for the Tour of Destruction. April 4th, we're doing the all-wheel drive versus rear-wheel drive shootout. Midnight Performance versus Beater Bomb again. But rear-wheel drive versus all-wheel drive. All the same rules.
They was telling Tennessee accountability, go fuck some more of your son's friends and steal his money and shit. And it was wild.
And there's going to be the $500 testing the day before. It's going to be the same exact thing. However, this year it's on a Saturday and we are going to allow spectators. Okay. So people can finally come out and see that. Tickets will go on sale for that on January 23rd. And it's a very limited amount of tickets because we're doing some mobile bleachers down by the no prep side of the track. So don't miss out on those tickets if you want to go. And Freedom Plus is going to stream all-wheel drive versus rear-wheel drive for the first time. So April 3rd, the day before, we are going to have all-wheel drive versus rear-wheel drive testing, but there will be no spectators for that. $500 a pass that goes towards the pot. That's going to be sweet. Next weekend after that, April 10th and 11th, we got the Freedom 500. Now, let me tell you guys something about the Freedom 500. It's been pretty similar to the same thing for the last few years. So we're going to change it up. I'm not going to get too far into the details, but there's going to be a lot of fan interaction. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on with the people in the crowd. And I don't think you're going to want to miss that. The tickets are going to be released for that on January 18th. Freedom 500 tickets, it always sells out. So I would buy your tickets. I would be locked and loaded on thefote.com on January 18th. Okay.
Oh shit, me and mama might have to go to that.
And that has Burnout Rivals attached to it too. Both events are going to have some new things going on. We'd love to have you guys. Okay. April 18th, I'm going to be racing in Kansas for ARCA. April 25th.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying, Slayback. I think I may go down there and watch the Freedom 500. You know, it's mama's birthday tomorrow, and she wants a crock pot, but she might get Freedom 500 fucking tickets instead. Yeah, baby.
Talladega, hopefully with my boy Squirrel, shaking and baking.
Right.
May 1st and 2nd, we've got the Indy 800. We take a
Oh,
crown
Ricky
mix up
Bobby
with Indy.
looking motherfucker.
Also, there will be new stuff at that, like the Freedom 500. And those tickets are released February 6th, so don't miss out on that. Mom Prix is May 9th, but that's live stream only, so
It
you don't
looks
have to
like
worry
it'd be
about getting
fun.
any tickets to come to that. Then in June, we have, well, Month of Freedom's going to be crazy, by the way. Man, you know how close we are to the Month of Freedom already?
It just flies up
4
every
months.
single time.
4 months from now.
And we got turbos on top.
God dang, dude. We just finished the last one. Month of Freedom is going to be special. I'll tell you guys that much.
We're planning it now.
We are planning it now.
This is more than
So June, we've got June 5th, ARCA in Michigan, and then we're on to July. July 17th and 18th, we've got the New England 900 at Stafford. Tickets are released February
Hey,
27th.
Slayback, I wonder if they'll let Martin race his bicycle down there, huh? You think they'll let him fucking fire it up down there with all that horsepower it's got?
That guaranteed sellout. Sold out the last 2 years. Oh, July 31st and August 1st. This is an interesting one.
Him and River.
So
can,
we came up
Him and River can enter the burnout contest
with what we are calling the Race
because God knows he's a fucking burnout for sure.
Expo. Race stands for Racer and Creator Expo. Okay. You guys have been to different convention centers and seen different expos. This one is all about racers and creators. So what we're doing is what we've already done is rented the Bradenton Convention Center. That's pretty cool. Never rented a convention center before. This is already locked and loaded, by the way.
massive place.
Yeah, I
And
seen
tickets will
that.
be
He
on-
went down there for the Cletus experience, I think, and they let him drive one of the Crown Vics down around there.
Sale for this on February 27th. This is a massive facility, and we are taking every single car we have over there to the convention center. Leroy, Ruby, Mullet, Eagle, Health, Toter Home Fits. We will
Fiero.
take it. The Fiero. We're taking everything we can get and fit inside the convention center, and we're having a convention, okay, where you guys can come and see every single car we have, look at them up close and personal. And there's also going to be panels and little break off deals where George and I are doing a 1 hour
we appreciate
segment
his service,
on
Granny, for
each
sure.
day. That's like how to start a YouTube channel. And we're going to be in there talking for an hour in the breakout rooms to you guys.
One thing I've noticed about
Oh, fuck. We need to get Johnny a class down there. Shit.
fans is they all talk like the players can actually hear them.
Proud of you.
But when
You think
Right.
you think they'll loan him some gas money to get down there?
And it's just a neat thing that we all came up with, and it's going to grow into something massive. I guarantee that. There'll also be all the companies we work with there with booths, talking to you guys about parts, how to build your car, what kind of parts to use. James, Ty, Zach will be a part of the panels. You guys can ask them questions. You can ask Sam how to buff a car during one of the panels, right? So it's not so much of a meet and greet. I don't want to confuse people and think it's just to come get pictures with us. It's more so come and learn a little bit, see the cars. It should be really neat. And, you know, it's timed in August, right? End of July, first day of August. You guys want to
Hottest
come down to
fucking
Florida that time of the
day
year
is.
anyway, right? It's nice.
Yeah, sure they do, Cletus. It's going to be 110 fucking degrees outside. Sure, they want to come down in fucking August.
Let's hit the beach. Then we have the Michigan 100
Yeah,
at
it
Berlin
is.
Raceway. It's our first time up in Michigan with the Crown Vics, August 14th and 15th. Tickets go on sale on February 27th.
You
for
can
that.
tell
That's
he's
gonna
a
be fun.
genuine guy.
Heard a lot of
Like
good things
what
about
it
Berlin.
is.
Nothing in September that I have on here yet. There's a couple unannounced things for that, so I'm gonna keep rolling through there. October, we've got FL2K 26, October 1st through the 4th. Absolute banger drag race. You absolutely 1000% should be there. Leroy obviously won it twice, and it's going to be some intense racing in 2026. So come out to FL2K. I'm actually fired up for FL2K.
Hey,
as
you know what I
Then-
wondered? I wondered how in the hell he got them roll bars in that car. Because ain't that whole chassis? I mean, I know it's on some type of frame, but ain't that whole chassis and seats and all? Wasn't that all fiberglass on them vets?
In late October, the 30th and 31st, there will be the Tour of Destruction, which I will likely be at one of those days. It's over Halloween, so
What's up,
last
Dad?
year sold out, but this year I'll race one of the days again for sure, just like I did last year. Then in November, we have 2.4 hours of late mullets, November 13th and 14th. Going to be new stuff there. The Big League on the 28th of October. I'm going to try to be at that. I'm thinking about getting a late model, George.
Definitely.
And starting to run some late models when they come to the Freedom Factory. I had a little bit of FOMO last time when they were here racing. That brings us to December. We got the lights show we're going to be doing from December 4th through the 26th again. And then the Christmas tree drags is set up for December 19th. Okay. But let me tell you what I've been brewing up. 2-day in it. December 18th and 19th. Because it sells out so freaking hard on the 19th. I'm like, we can accommodate more people if we do it on the 18th. So racers, if you're watching this, it might be 2 days of racing for you guys, which I think you would all enjoy, right? You might be racing on the 18th and the 19th. I'd go ahead and say there's a 90% chance that's happening. But right now it's just the 19th. But it's probably both days. So, you know, new things on Freedom Plus. We're going to have Summer Nats, Michigan 100, the all-wheel drive shootout, Florida Man Games. One other non-announced event. But that's a lot of new stuff on Freedom Plus. This is a great year to subscribe to Freedom Plus if you haven't already. If you've been waiting, like I'm going to wait till they really dial it in. Now's the time. Okay? Freedom Plus is locked
Yeah,
in.
Green. No, this
Our
car
most
doesn't
events
have
ever, and they're
this car don't have the body on it. That's why I was kind of wondering how they put the roll bars on it. It's like, I don't know. You'd have to see it.
going to be phenomenal. Also on Freedom
It's
Plus,
what
the
made
Build a
him
Burnout
famous, though.
car
That car, what
season
made him
finale
famous.
is out. The Mullet Smoke Show is releasing soon. And that's pretty much it. See you guys at the Ultima race this weekend. I'm fired up for that. Got my Ultima fixed. George, anything I got to throw on there?
You hit it. You hit it good, bro.
2026, guys. We're going to be doing it for Biff and Dale. I love seeing that in my back of my video, George.
I know.
That's
Worked
sick.
out pretty good.
It did work out good. 2026 is going to be nuts. That's it. Don't forget to be like Biff. Do it for Dale. We'll freaking see you later.
Yeah, I've been watching him a long time too, man. Been watching him a long time too. Hey, and it's cool to watch people succeed at stuff like that, right? And it couldn't have happened to a better one, I don't think. Just to be honest with you. I don't know why I'm not on the. Let me see if I remove this and see if it'll put me back up on stage. I don't know why it's not showing me. I don't know what I've done. I did something where it's not showing me. I don't get it. Oh well, fuck it. Yeah, at least y'all can hear me. That's all that matters, you know. Kind of crazy, but whatever. I did something wrong. Then again, I don't know how to do all this shit anyway. Let me click all this shit back here and we'll see if we can. That is not fixing it. I don't know what the fuck I have done. Anybody heard from Rich? I know he popped in chat a couple days ago. He was sick, and I haven't heard anything else back from him. Hopefully, he's doing a little better. Don't worry about, oh boy, there's some bad shit running around right now, fucking people up. Quite a few people I know is definitely fucking sick. So y'all take care of yourself, whatever you do. If you start feeling sick, get a hold of it at that damn, I want to say it's called Airborne. Some shit mama makes us take. I wonder if they're still fucking crashing out in Minnesota. That shit is crazy to me. I don't know how people fucking let these damn politicians get them all fucking worked up and go out there. I mean, do you see any of them fucking politicians standing out there with them? I have no idea, Green. You asked the wrong one about that. I do not have a fucking clue. Let's see if we can yeah, it's crazy, man. And, you know, these people are getting fucked with, right? When I say these people, I mean these ICE agents. They're being terrorized and hollered at and screamed at and stressed to the fucking max. So why would you want to go out there and fucking thumb your nose at them? It doesn't, to me, it just doesn't make good sense.
Do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't. Hey, get that guy with direct impact. Get back. Get back. Get back. Get back. I've been amazed.
Yeah. Oh, right in the face. Hey, baby. Yeah, that's what you wanted. Get it. Hey, did you see the one where the dude was trying to get away from the motherfucker with the microphone and they was buzzing him in his ear? He ended up knocking 3 or 4 of them out. I was like, yeah, baby, that's what's up. He was whooping her ass.
Someone else! Kill someone else!
I don't care. I don't care. You calm down.
Which
That's the sound of an American oil company hard at work. Want to be a part of it? Listen up.
Hello. There ain't no way.
Protests continue in Minneapolis over the fatal
I
shooting.
know that's right, Uncle G. I know there's no way I'm gonna let some fucking politicians get me so revved up that I'm out there fucking fighting their battle for them. Look, if they gave a fuck about you, you wouldn't have to be out there fighting the battle for them because they'd be taking care of business up there. This shit wouldn't be going on in their fucking city or their state, whatever you want to say. It amazes me that people can be this fucking brainwashed.
Of a woman by an ICE agent in the city just days ago.
And they leave out that the lady was, and I'm not saying her death was right by any means whatsoever. I wish the lady was home with her kids. I don't want to see anybody get hurt. But you cannot fucking cut ICE off and harass them and think nothing's going to fucking happen to you. You know, and the fact that she drove off, I mean, damn, that's just the chances you take. You gotta be willing to fucking, you know, pay that price. And I hate it for him. I hate it for him. What happened to the state of Florida taking the property from? I missed it.
Video has shown clashes between
That's what we having
protesters
tonight,
and
Deb.
federal law
Burritos.
enforcement outside of the Whipple Federal Building. Now, there's also been situations like this one that happened on Friday night outside of the hotel where immigrations and customs enforcement agents were believed to be staying. The footage shows protesters inside the Renaissance Minneapolis Hotel chanting, quote, "No justice, no peace," and banging on a podium. Again, you see that right there on your screen. Another clip from inside the Canopy by Hilton Hotel shows those protesters blocked by security while attempting to push their way further inside. Then you have those protesters outside the depot in Minneapolis breaking outdoor heaters, and it looks like some windows damaged as well. All of this, of course, in the wake of Wednesday's
Now, why would you tear your own fucking neighborhoods up? That never made sense to me either. You're gonna riot, you go somewhere else and tear shit up, not in your own fucking
shooting death of Renee Good, who the Department of Homeland Security describes.
And see, they don't realize, I don't think half them have got the common sense to realize that lady had pulled out in front of the ICE agents' cars to stop them from doing their duty.
As a, quote, domestic terrorist, calling her an immigration activist serving as a member of ICE Watch, a group that watches, tracks, and interferes with federal immigration enforcement. The FBI is conducting the investigation as Minneapolis city and federal officials, such as Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, clash over whether the shooting was justified. And since the shooting happened, there have been so many of those news conferences with Mayor Jacob Frey and Chief Brian O'Hara of the Minneapolis Police Department. Chief O'Hara joining us now to talk about what happened and the ongoing protests. Thank you so much, Chief, for taking the time to be here with us today.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Of course. And first off, I did want to ask you how you go about characterizing these different protests that are taking place across Minneapolis over the past several days.
Well, it's certainly been a challenge, and it's been very taxing for the men and women of the Minneapolis Police Department. The police department remains significantly understaffed after losing hundreds of officers in the aftermath of the 2020 civil unrest. And so it's a challenge.
Look at the wrinkles on that motherfucker's forehead. Tell me he don't look like a Chinese Shar-Pei. Tell me he don't. Jeez, motherfucker gonna die.
Called to duty. There are no days off right now, and they're working extended tours. That being said, they have managed incredibly well, just thousands upon thousands of people who have been protesting, the largest of which happened yesterday.
I don't know what that thing is, Slayback. I'm going to tell you right now, these people are over here eating up their fucking resources. They ain't even thought about it like that. Why would I don't fucking get it. I guarantee you most of these motherfuckers don't have a job. What they do, they're getting paid to ride, allegedly.
There were many times that our officers were taunted and tested in cases for several hours, and they were able to de-escalate situations and perform remarkably well. So that being said, for the most part, the overwhelming majority of people who came into the city were here to exercise their First Amendment rights, and things went well. But there were arrests that had to be made.
And that's what I wanted to talk about as well, because this is some of the video that came out from Friday night as you had people that kind of showed up there at several hotels where they believe that maybe the ICE officers and agents were staying. Tell me a little bit about that and what the department has observed regarding outside agitators versus people who are exercising their First Amendment right.
Yes. Well, Friday night was not the largest, but it was certainly the worst of it. It began as many of the other protests around the metro here have been, which were these sort of noise protests that were happening at night outside of hotels, hotels that people suspected may be providing rooms to federal law enforcement. But where across the line was they started to commit damage to one of the hotels in the city. There were some windows that were broken and some graffiti incidents that happened. And so very quickly, the Minneapolis Police Department and our state troopers mobilized a force of over 200 police officers.
Exactly. Slayback. They fucking won't, though. They won't take near one of them motherfuckers home.
Moved in, declared an unlawful assembly, gave multiple warnings before an arrest order was given. And ultimately, they arrested 30 individuals who were not peacefully protesting. That being said, I know for sure we believe there are people from outside that are coming in to agitate things. But what is remarkable is those 30 individuals, as well as the one person who was arrested yesterday for spraying graffiti in the city along our main corridor on the south side. They're all Minnesota residents.
What is essentially the Minneapolis Police Department there doing to make sure that people do stay safe when you have these outside agitators that are coming in?
Yeah, so that's what I was mentioning. We have canceled days off, recalled all personnel. We have all of our specialty units available. We have members of the State Patrol on standby. We've called from mutual aid from surrounding.
Man, if I wanted to bust that shit up, I'd take me a fire truck and a fucking water hose. I start squirting them motherfuckers in the middle of winter. They'll get cold. They'll go to fuck home.
Communities, we are staffed up around the clock and continuing to monitor social media and monitor events that are happening in other major cities around the country. That being said, our officers have had extensive
like a fucking
training
popsicle
over the last 5
They'll have Frosty the Snowman out in that bitch. I wouldn't let them keep doing that shit.
And not only crowd
That's
control,
not a protest.
use
That's
of
a
force
fucking
and
riot.
de-escalation strategies. And I just, I can't tell you how proud I am because the level of taunting and hate and vitriol that they've been subjected.
Oh yeah, Deb. No, that's
to,
true shit. And he
they have
praised God
performed
too when the
better
car
than
got
any other example I can think of.
And I want to pop this video up. I know you've been asked about it. As far as the recently released video that does show the interaction there between the ICE officer and Renee Good, what stands out to you about that from a law enforcement perspective and based on your experience in law enforcement?
Hey, did y'all see the sick fucking Facebook post her wife made like the day or two after? Unless it was AI, and it may have been, but even if it was fucking bad joke. Talking about a one owner, fucking car runs good and this and that and shit. It was fucking nasty.
You know, the main thing I think, of course, is an issue of tactics. Certainly it's concerning, that the officer is kind of holding a camera in one hand while their handgun is out, holding the handgun only with the other hand. And also concern around sort of being in the pathway of a motor vehicle. Those are things that for many years, there's been a very strong emphasis, at least for city police and state troopers, officers who typically conduct motor vehicle stops and enforcement, to try and avoid placing yourself in
What's up, Just
situations
Doing?
that might create unnecessarily a risk of serious.
What you think about that shit, Chad? That shit, not saying that the lady deserved to get whacked, but god dang. I mean, how, you play fucking stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Serious bodily injury or death to law enforcement. So those are the main issues, obviously, that are a concern. And I think for many years in this country, policing has been trying to prevent situations from that occurring. That being said, nothing is ever 100%. Because law enforcement cannot control the actions entirely of other people that we are encountering.
The reason we exist is because
that motherfucker there guy go to the vet once a month, get them goddamn wrinkles clean. Yeah, most definitely on the fucking chain gang, nickel.
You have for those who are
On
still
the
planning
hard
to protest
fucking labor.
Minneapolis, and
They
at the same
think
time,
twice about that shit, that little bit of money they're getting paid to fucking, but the news, if I remember right, tried to say this lady had drove from fucking Colorado and all that shit. And it's sad when they just rush to put shit out. They don't put the whole facts out.
what message do you want to get across to ICE?
Well, I think in terms of people that are protesting, we respect that. We are cops in the United States. We follow the Constitution. We understand that the First Amendment provides people
Right.
the
I
ability
get
to
you. I
peaceably
totally
assemble,
understand.
And protest and object
It's
to
just what everybody's talking
government
about. It's
activity,
just the shit that, in a big city like this, that's what everybody's kind of like focused on.
including the actions that we take as Minneapolis police officers. But that being said, there's a line that you cannot cross. You cannot break the law, and you cannot threaten the lives of others. Same thing, I think similarly in some way to those who are conducting immigration enforcement. I pray that you will use sound tactics.
Hey, it'd be nice to see about 50 fucking pit bulls dumped out in the street up there, wouldn't it? I bet you they'd break that fucking shit up, damn.
That do not unnecessarily create risk to yourselves or others in the community. I pray that you will conduct this enforcement constitutionally and lawfully and professionally, consistent with the best practices that we have in our profession today. I think one thing that's getting lost in all of this is immigration enforcement has been happening in Minnesota constantly for many years in different administrations. And I think that the main issue that people are seeing that is causing a problem is not that enforcement is happening, it's the manner in which and how some of this activity is being carried out.
And my last question before I let you go here, are there any maybe misunderstandings, disinformation that you as the police chief do want to make sure is clarified for folks out there who are watching regardless of where they stand on any of this?
Shane couldn't see what was happening.
I think there's
let's go see if we can see that dude get the fucking shit beat out of him. That was a good clip. I don't know if y'all seen that or not. See if we can find it. I seen it on Instagram. I don't know if we'll be able to find it or not, but motherfucker was hollering in his ear with a megaphone, and he beat the right here it is.
Leftists trying to engage in violence get rocked by a dude who's going massively viral for knocking out like 3 or 4 far left extremists. And there's An important thing I want to say about this clip, I'm going to play for you. The dude, the MAGA dude, the American flag, who rocks these leftists is backing off the whole time. This is the world we are living in. The game these people are playing on the left, they think it's a game. And the people on the right know it's serious, and they are avoiding, often as they do, the violence. But when the left
Tim,
refuses
shut the fuck
and
up.
decides to get violent, they
Just
get
shut up.
purple umbrella sticking. These leftists are playing a game. He's doing the I'm not
Damn,
touching you.
we wanna.
It looks like 4. Well, he didn't knock that guy out, but he hit him. He gets knocked down. And check it out. Here's the guy who initially started the fight, walking up and crunch.
Hey,
Boom.
guys,
That's a knockout. That's a knockout, bro. Look at this. Look at this. We're going to slow-mo it. The dude in the red, this guy with the jacket, walking up to the guy. He's still backing up. The guy on the right is still walking backwards, trying to avoid the fight. And then, bang.
It's doing
Right in the guy's face. He just goes, he's out.
Shit.
He's gone. Knockout. Pure. Now, here's what I'm going to say, man. They say
I don't
Fafa.
like that motherfucking dude right there. That dude's fucking weirdo, if you ask me. I'd rather watch it without him running his mouth. Just let this shit happen. Let us watch it without hearing a bunch of fucking commentary. We'll watch somebody laugh. I wanted to see her get beat up. Damn, that sucks that he's the only one I can fucking find.
This is going to be Laura Ingraham out there at a protest asking someone, hey, do you have a job?
Shame!
Do you have a job? Do you have a job?
Shame! I'm getting paid right now! Shame! Shame!
She got what I think is a very honest answer, surprisingly. So she admitted that she's being paid. I'm being paid right now. How are you being paid right now? If you're out there protesting, shame, shame. How are you?
We already know that. Yeah. Damn, I hate Tim Pool's fucking voice.
Leftists trying to engage in violence get rocked by a dude who's going. These leftists are playing a game. He's doing the I'm not touching you game. The dude on the right's not playing a game. That's 1 knockout. That's 2 that's 3. It looks like 4. Well, he didn't knock that guy out, but he hit him. He gets knocked down. And check it out. Here's the guy who initially started the fight, walking up and crunch.
Wow.
Boom. That's a knockout. That's a knockout, bro. Look at this. Look at this. We're going to slow-mo
Let me see if I can go find this.
The dude in the red, this guy with the jacket, walking up to the guy. He's still backing up. The guy on the right is still walking backwards, trying to avoid the fight. And then, bang, right in the guy's face. He just goes, he's out. He's gone. Knockout. Pure. Now, here's what I'm going to say, man. They say FAFO. These leftists, these liberals are playing a game. I was saying this in the earlier segment. They don't understand. In the beginning, take a look. He's smiling. He's all happy. He's smiling as he's sticking a megaphone into the ear of this guy, blasting loud sounds. Okay, that's a battery, all right? For those that don't know, every state's got a little bit different, but the general idea is assault is putting someone in reasonable fear of harm. Particularly Illinois. I can cite Illinois, that's where I'm from. New York is different. Assault is actually causing damage. I looked this up a while ago. I'm pretty sure, I haven't checked in a long time, but my understanding in New York is you have to actually damage or injure.
Bye, Tim. Nobody gives a fuck what you talking about, bro. This to be 100% correct. Yeah, that's when the spirit left for sure. We're gonna see if we can find it. What? She can't move, but she damn sure holding on to that fucking door.
Does this make you feel strong? Yeah, man!
What is up with these people pulling sideways in the middle of the fucking road? What do you think they're gonna do? I hope they steal her fucking catalytic converter. Them boys out there having time of their motherfucking life.
Bring it up. This is my.
This can't be real.
Holy shit.
Hi, everybody. It's Tim.
Let's see if Tim's the story's no longer available. How in the fuck did we click on it and start with, though? Damn, TMZ steadily posting shit, ain't there?
Have I ever faked a tick to get a... Yeah.
Look at me, look at me. Hello? Let me get this straight. Me and him, boy, we gonna ride the house like Roy road trip. I'm out of here.
Hey, listen, this is all it's about. It's not just about love.
I think I changed my stance about Iran a little bit. I do understand that, like, right now we're fighting a regime, right? So we're fighting a terrorist, pretty much Islamic regime. That's not lost on me, right? So that's different than the Persian, Iranian people. I understand. But here's my question, and this is what I want you to answer for me. When do we think it's appropriate for the U.S. to step in? Do you know what I'm saying? So like, I know what you guys are fighting. I know the Iranian people are like, protesting in the streets. And when is it appropriate for the U.S. to step in? That's my question. I think it's not that we should or shouldn't. It's when do we think it's appropriate?
No, we
Hello,
don't.
everybody. It was brought to my attention that there's several new people that have joined our small community on this corner of the internet. They want to be a part of our circus here. So I was going to do like a orientation, so to speak, and let everyone know what goes on here. On this corner of the internet, I'm formerly known as Tactical Tinkerbell. Okay. I'm a small town police officer / Dollar General anthropologist, self-appointed, I might add. People have asked, who is Dale and Rhonda? Why do you say felony glitter so much? I'll go over those things, okay? Dale and Rhonda
I have no idea, Deb.
people that inhabit every small town across the United States and most countries, okay? Dale is that guy who smells like Mountain Dew and reeks of conspiracy theories.
Oh, this bitch just offended me.
You hear a strange noise behind a dumpster at night at 2 a.m., it's Dale, okay? If you have an older fellow
No, that's fucking Martin.
come up to you and say that he was abducted by government possums, he's a Dale, okay? Rhonda, she is your traditional, whenever I was a child, I was in all the pageants, Little Miss Priss, very angry, nosy, Rosie. That's who she is. Facebook stalker, everything on the internet lady. That's who Rhonda is. We all know them. Okay. That's Rhonda. Okay. And then felony glitter. Felony glitter is what I like to call meth. Okay. It's the safe internet version of an illegal drug. People love to hide it in Crown Royal bags, in their sock, gas station coffee cups, and oftentimes you will find it inside pants that are on a person that aren't their pants. I don't know why it is like that, but it just is. So if you guys have any questions that you want to know because you're new here, feel free to drop them
She said,
in the comments, okay? I'll answer them.
Talking to you, Chad.
Why don't you do it, buddy? What?
Why ain't he in school? Because he's wanting to go get on that fucking boat.
This is my brand new.
I was hoping that shit was going to be on Instagram.
No, no.
You do.
Hi, man.
How you doing?
Chilla's making up.
Okay. So you'll put $5 over
Yeah. How much?
5.
Five bill.
This only goes left, right only. You push it, it's gonna go up. Once you let it go, that's it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
You put $5 right here. Right here. Okay. You got 30 seconds. 30 segundos.
3.
That's the time. That's how much time you have. That's how many times you can do it.
Okay. Çancın dışta bu şeyin. Ankara sokku buraya mı? Şeydir o. Exercise man. Devam edin. Ha, bolu çıkın ya.
Oh, is this one? Yeah, you got time expired. This one, look. This one go eat.
Oh, nobody don't care about it. Shit, I thought he was going to win the fucking shoes.
So what's your dad doing over there? Oh,
What up, Cub?
Hey. Hey, what's up?
What you doing?
I'm just doing me. What you doing?
Man, I'm chilling with the, with my auntie.
Okay, period. How you got all these followers on here? What you be on here doing?
Dancing and stuff.
Like, what's up? Who the fuck is y'all? What y'all got going on? Like, what's good?
Oh, we just be doing like comedy stuff, real life stuff.
Okay, y'all.
Just kidding.
Okay, y'all just not going live and stuff, or y'all be going live for a little minute. They in my comments said they are famous. What y'all famous for?
Oh,
they said you that one lady. Okay, I'm gonna follow you because I'm about to like get into y'all page and see what the fuck y'all got going on.
They are. They fucking funny as shit.
Wait, why y'all following?
He's talking too fast.
Girl, you listening too slow.
I am. I'm gonna catch on now.
Catch up, Mustard. Catch up, Mustard. What you doing?
What's mustard?
You, Mustard. Catch up.
Oh, I get it now. We're laughing so hard.
Yes, Trey, calm down. What you falling out for?
For real.
Like, damn.
Oh, fucking Jackie Chan looking ass. Oh, Mike. I ain't seen him in a minute. What a fucking punk. That's a badass fucking pump right here. They got them down there by you, Lake Bay. I've seen that thing a few times on social media. I just don't know what they're using it for. I was hoping they had that fucking fight up here.
Show me a 10 that's complaining about being married, please. I would love to see a 10 complain about being married, because at the end of the day, we got all these girls up on here complaining about marriage, and they solid 4s. Hence Cardi B. Y'all talk about, oh, Cardi did it. Cardi before the surgeries was a solid 2 to 3, maybe even a 4. But she got her nose done, her face done. She got good money now. So Cardi looks completely different. You know what I mean? And just like a lot of you.
As y'all see, man, I'm driving a $4 million yacht right now, man, which is a Lamborghini yacht. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy because it's just like the car to me, man. You know what I'm saying? As y'all see, the steering wheel, everything, and it's fast. I ain't gonna go fast, but I'm just showing y'all I'm just driving the thing. We in Dubai with it. As y'all.
We are official.
All that she wants is another baby. She's gone tomorrow.
Hell no.
All that she wants is another baby. Yeah. All that she wants is another baby. She's gone tomorrow.
You know, I do love you guys, and we have the opportunity to build something great over here on this platform. Oh, but the messages.
Hey, y'all remember this dude? When I fucking when I watched him, he was still in fucking prison. Yeah, them pumps are badass. I don't know what they use them for, but I've seen that thing on social media quite a few times.
The messages.
This dude run around. Hey, mama, you make me another cup of coffee, baby, please? Forever, 11, forever. Thanks, sweetheart. You're so good to me. I got it too good, y'all. I swear I did.
Things like this. You may want to go check the comments on that Sorry Trump video that you posted about the illegal immigrants, bro. Because half of the comment section is unfollowing you because of this and calling you a liberal. Oh, you're going to lose a lot of followers talking about politics, bro. Stay out of it and take that video down. Now, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm sure that comment was posted with the best of intentions. But I'd be remiss if I didn't point out a lot of you are starting to sound like most of the major media platforms. If this guy says one thing that I don't agree with, I'm going to unfollow him.
Yeah, that's the part I don't get, right? Motherfuck, we all different. People are not going to be like exactly like you and think just like you. You like people because overall they're good people. But when you start getting triggered because a motherfucker says something that you don't like or they think a little different, and if it's really a serious issue, educate them. If it's not, who gives a fuck? I don't get that.
Matter of fact, if this guy says anything negative about Trump, I'm definitely going to unfollow him. You know, this American citizen with all of the freedoms I enjoy better shut the fuck up about politics or anything else. He better only talk about child safety or else I'm going to unfollow him. I think those of you that allegedly love Trump, this country, and freedom should sit back for a moment and realize how it is that you sound. Oh, it's not just the Sorry Trump video. How about Nick Shirley? He's been exposed as a liar. All of this is fake. A slanderous attempt to bring down the left. What you're telling me is that the Justice Department indictment that revealed this fraud, this federal indictment right here, which identified that Feeding Our Future was operating a scheme that was funneling hundreds of millions of dollars to Somali daycares. Yeah, that was also just a big fraud.
Well, get your fat ass to the front of the fucking boat then. Put the goddamn hitch lower on the fucking truck. Something. Don't let the fucking foot just drag. I hate to see boat abuse. I swear I do.
I'm from the side, we drink Coronas.
Hey, you know your past.
Hey everybody, David Sneed here with you.
Hey, I thought about getting in on this raffle right here. I doubt I'd win it, but that's a nice fucking boat, man. And they ain't but $50 a ticket.
You in Harkers Island, North Carolina on this beautiful November day to talk about our latest boat raffle. We're calling it Next to Last Ride 25 because we've got this beautiful refurbished 2016 Sportsman Tournament Edition 214 that one of our longtime board members has donated back to CCA so we can raise some money for conservation here in North Carolina.
150 fucking Yamaha power pole, a Riptide trolling motor, and a Garmin trailer. I think, or a Garmin fish finder, Simrad electronics. Yeah, that's a nice fucking ride. That bitch has lost her fucking mind.
Look at the level of finish on this vessel, folks. You don't see this even on a big boat. Just look at the details. And just look at the engine of this vessel here, folks. It's a 43 cubic centimeter engine here. It is proportionally strong for a vessel of this size. Just look there, folks. It's perfect. Built by the naval carpenter, folks. Orderly Netinho. These men here are true artists, and the owner is Anderson. Just look, folks, at this vessel. Iro fishing boat. Controls at the bow. Just look at the perfect detail of the vessel, folks. Look at this here.
Just so you know, nearly
If this video is
every single hand you have ever shaken
on your screen,
I preface with I do not recommend.
happened when you got your heart broken.
I did everything but die. I thought I was dead, crying like a mother. I cried so hard I thought I was outside in the rain.
Damn.
This billionaire had been pretending to be a
Welcome to installing cold air intake.
Oh no, this is one of the most ICE agent ever run up on me. I guarantee you they won't. I put a hole in their chest the size of a window. Safe line repair, safe line replace. That's what's gonna happen. They touch me. Unarmed woman was killed by ICE. If you think you're about to come and brutalize the people while we're standing here, fuck around and find out. Our interactions with the police and ICE, and we hold them accountable. We hold them accountable. We patrol the community and we hold them accountable. The Black Panther Party for self-defense, we're the same Panther Party from back in the day, but we're a little more aggressive now, you dig? Carry bigger guns and we don't take no shit. Places where there are a lot of immigrants at, I think that the community around them needs to take special care to them and needs to start escorting them to and from everywhere to make sure that they're safe. Because them ICE agents ain't going to act like that if it's a bunch of people standing outside with assault rifles and shotguns. It's a semi-automatic shotgun. That means them shotgun shells that shoot out of a pump, they shoot them rapidly. If you are going to legally arm yourself with something bigger than what they got. Those who serve in the public, they should be fearful of the public. They should be fearful that the public is going to be dissatisfied with their job that they're doing, not feeling like they're tyrants, not feeling like they're bullies because they got guns and body armor and walkie-talkies. That makes them immune to whatever the people will do. I think you want to correct the ideology of the pig and the mentality of the slave catcher. You meet them with equal force. All power to the motherfucking people.
That dude is a fucking idiot. What's up, Red?
Opening films I've worked on.
idiot.
Hey, let's have a real talk about real life real quick. That
Oh, he's dropped it.
Dare not lose that goddamn kingfish. Have you watched David Hooksteed? No, we go check him out. Where's he at? Chad, on Instagram or on YouTube? Dude, so oh man. Can you imagine Martin right now? He's probably standing in front of the mirror practicing to draw, shooting himself with fucking little rubber darts. I got you, Isaac. I'm gonna get you. Fucking retard. You draw your gun like this. David. Well, we appreciate you hanging out with us, Dad. We ain't doing nothing. You know what I mean? We just chilling, man. I'm bored. You know how it goes. What kind of person is this, Chad? Is he down to earth or is he like fucking holy shit? What the fuck is going on? Okay, Hook's dead. That's all right. I fucked up typing anyway. Oh shit, it came right up. Yeah, I think you turned me on to him the other day. I think I got some of them. Oh shit, what I do? Stop it.
Threatening to kill President Donald Trump. That is right. The Iranian regime is pushing a message that they plan to assassinate President Donald Trump, the leader of the free world, the leader of America. And it feels like we have now crossed the point of no return and are in an official state of war with the Iranians.
All right, bet we'll watch it. Hey, so if I can give anybody any kind of advice, get lead sheets and make a fucking box for those EMPs, right? Like, I wouldn't worry so much about cell phones and shit, but stuff that's electronic that you gotta keep, like charge controllers for solar, shit like that, and even your cell phone. Make sure, because from what I understand, Iran has been threatening and practicing about a nuclear weapon over the top of the United States, and it's going to cause it like it's going to cause a shortage of all our electronics, so it takes out our power grids and all that shit.
This
I don't
is
know
a
how true it
crisis
is, but lead's pretty
situation.
fucking cheap.
Bombs could start falling at literally any time. So we're going to break down exactly what is happening, what we know, what comes next, and what a timeline for a U.S. attack on Iran might look like. Before we get into it, as always, please make sure to like and subscribe. Totally free, cost you nothing. Huge boost to the channel. Go ahead and comment with your thoughts below. How do you want to see the United States respond to this vile and disgusting threat against our president? Let me know in the comments below what you want to see happen. Hit that notification bell. All notifications turned on. You won't miss a thing. And then Instagram, David_Hookstead, X, D Hookstead. My DMs are wide open. Please give me a follow on both sites. And if you have a tip, definitely reach out. I want to hear about it. I love talking with you all. Now let's get into it. As all viewers of the channel know, we are on the brink of war with Iran, following Iran massacring civilians, peaceful protesters in the country, killing men, women, children, the elderly. It is one of the most revolting things we've ever seen, and President Trump has made it clear he has every intention of getting involved in bringing hell on earth to the Ayatollah and the Islamic regime of Iran. We are moving military assets into position. We have evacuated our base in Qatar due to the fact that Iran will likely attempt to bomb it in retaliation. But now we are on a whole new level. I'm going to put this on the screen for you. Let me get it up. Iranian state TV is publishing a message. Now, remember, Iranian state TV is run by the government. Whatever they put out is the government's line. It is the government's message. It might as well be coming right from the mouth of Khomeini. They put out a message today in Persian, which you can see here on the screen, saying this time the bullet won't miss, with a photo of Trump after he survived an assassination attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania, being struck in the ear by gunfire. No mistake about it, ladies and gentlemen. What the Iranian government, the Iranian dictatorship is doing right now to the entire country, to the entire world, is sending the message they intend to try to kill our leader. And I don't care who the president is. I don't care if it's Trump, George Bush, Biden, Obama, Clinton. It makes no difference to me. You never threaten the leader of the United States of America. You never threaten our president. And that is what the Iranian dictatorship has now done. They have now threatened to kill President Donald Trump, to murder him, to assassinate him. And that is a red line we must never tolerate being crossed. You want to threaten our president, you will get the force and might of the United States military. This is unacceptable on every level.
Yeah, I bet he's just looking for a reason, and that was his reason. He's fixing to unleash hell.
And it almost reads like they're almost taking credit for the failed assassination attempt. This is bonkers. And I am enraged and I'm pissed off, as all Americans should be.
Yep.
You don't threaten our leaders. You don't threaten our president. The Iranian dictatorship has just dug its grave. It has dug its hole. As soon as the government put out the message that it plans to take out President Donald Trump, it needs to be game over for the Ayatollah. It needs to be game over for the regime in Tehran. I am beyond pissed off. President Trump has already survived 2 assassination attempts, one of which he took a bullet to the ear. And now we're dealing with this sick, sadistic regime threatening to assassinate him. No way.
Bro, you
no
know
way
what?
can we tolerate.
Scary, man, is these fucking borders have been open for years and letting all these crazy motherfuckers in here. So there's no telling who's already here.
This. They must be
And
crossed.
I've said it, and I've said it. These people don't fight like we fight. We fight hand to hand or even with firearms, with one another. But these sick motherfuckers will park a car somewhere and let it fucking rip. I don't want to see that shit over here. You know what I mean? I really don't. I don't want to see that shit here. Anybody who thinks that they won't do it are fucking crazy. Y'all be, man, I don't know, man. It make you not want to go to big events. I was offered to go to the football game here a while back. I wouldn't go. I'm not going to no place like that. I'm just not doing it. And not saying that it'll happen, but I'm not going to put myself in a position on purpose for some shit like that to fucking happen. I used to take my kids to the movies and shit. And the last time we went to the movies, I was pointing out the fire exits. I said, hey, and this is sad that you even have to fucking think like this in the United States. But I was like, look, if anything ever happens, you fucking hit that exit. You don't worry about nobody but yourself. And that's fucking sad to have to tell kids that,
And it looks like that is what we are preparing to do.
All right, so listen up. State Farm was trying to charge me $197 for car insurance. No, thank you.
Shit.
This comes from Reuters. It says Iran warns of retaliation if Trump strikes. U.S. withdraws some personnel from bases.
Yeah,
So
just
right
when
here
a
it
lot
says
of
US
people don't
withdraws
understand that. You know what I mean? They really don't. And they don't understand these fuckers that hit our fucking electric companies, our electric plants, our fucking yeah, man. Yeah, I get it, bro. I really do, Chad. I fucking get it, man. Mama was talking about going to West Virginia the other day because, you know, Unc wants to get on a sailboat and leave, right? She's like, well, then we won't be safe. And I was like, shit.
Personnel from bases in Middle East as precaution.
Matter of fact, while you bullshitting, I got the sails in my truck right now. I'm dropping them off Saturday to get them restitched up and all that shit ready to go just in case.
Official says Israeli assessment sees U.S. intervening. Time and scope unclear. Western official, Iranian security apparatus remains in control. Protests have posed biggest challenge to authority.
One thing happened over here. One thing crazy like that happens over here. Uncle fucking dump a couple $1,000s worth of canned goods down in the bow of that bitch and we'll go. She'll look like she needs a diet. She'll be sitting so low in the water.
Year. This also, what you see on your screen now, is also coming from Reuters saying all the signals are that a U.S. attack is imminent. The U.S. is preparing to strike at any time. We have removed personnel from the airbase in Qatar. We made a video on that earlier in the day. The evacuation order was given by President Trump and the military. Now they are reporting strikes are believed to be imminent. They could come at literally any minute, any hour. All eyes are on Tehran in whatever bunker the.
Hey, didn't Biden free up a bunch of money for these motherfuckers? Like trillions of dollars or some shit that they had. I don't know if I'm on target with that or not, but I could have swore I heard a while back a bunch of echoes of that shit.
Ayatollah and his scumbag friends are hiding in. They threatened our president. It's game over. They threatened to kill our leader. It's game over. Strikes are now imminent, according to the reporting. I'm going to put this up on the screen for you. Let me get it up there. This says from Ozen Defender, President Donald J. Trump, facing a red line of his own making in Iran, increasingly believes he must take decisive action against the regime amid a violent and deadly crackdown on protesters, according to officials familiar with the matter who spoke to CNN. So the sources close to President Trump are now stating that we are past the point of no return. President Trump is weighing his options, and he appears to be leaning heavily towards dropping the bombs on Iran, towards dropping hell on earth on Iran. We're done playing games. We were done playing games when they started massacring innocent people. We're certainly done playing games now that they threatened to take out our leader. And again, I don't care who the president is. Does not matter. You threaten the president of the United States, you will get justice. And that justice will be served by the United States military. Furthermore, it says recent U.S. intelligence report indicate Iran is preparing options to target American military bases in the Middle East, including those in Iraq and Syria, if President Donald Trump orders military strikes against targets in Iran. That is why we have had base evacuations. So they are threatening right now. The Iranians are threatening to bomb our bases in Syria, bomb our bases in Iraq, bomb our bases in Qatar, bomb our bases wherever they can hit them. If they do that, and I want to be crystal clear here, if they do that, the follow-up strikes from the United States of America will be overwhelming and unrelenting. We will not bend the knee to the Islamic regime. We will not bend the knee to the Ayatollah. We are in charge. We're calling the shots. We're telling them what is going to happen. And I'm telling them right now, we will not tolerate threats against the president of the United States, and we will not tolerate the Iranian regime bombing our bases in the region. If they do, if they fire one missile,
I see why you like him.
We will respond.
He got the
with
University of West Virginia.
That is what
fucking
must
helmet
happen.
I got
that
it now.
must be the line for the United States of America. Now, we have some updates out of Israel. You can see the Iron Dome surface-to-air missile launchers reportedly spotted on the move today in Israel. So you can see right here, they are moving their missile defense systems into place, anticipating a strike. And then furthermore, bomb shelters have been opened in the southern Israeli city of Beersheba due to heightened tensions with Iran. So they are opening their bomb shelters in anticipation of Iran launching missiles, in anticipation of a massive, massive bombing campaign in the Middle East. So I'm going to pull this off the screen now. So we have the Iranian government threatening to take out President Donald Trump. As an American citizen, and as every American watching this should feel, you should be beyond pissed off. You should be absolutely livid that any country thinks they can threaten our leader. And this isn't political. This isn't right wing, left wing. This is America. And if you threaten our leader, we will smash you into 1,000 pieces. At the same time, we have missile systems on the move. We have military assets on the move. Bomb shelters are being opened up. They are saying the strike is imminent, according to intelligence assessments and from leaders around the world. Multiple countries have told their citizens to get the hell out of Iran,
I don't
including
even
the
like
United
cats,
States of
Joe.
America, Poland, France, India. Many, many countries have told their citizens to get out before the bombs hit, because once the bombs hit, all bets are off. If you are an American, get out now. The first thing they will do is try to hunt you down. We are on the brink, ladies and gentlemen. We are in a status of high alert, and we must be ready to roll at any point in time. But I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. How do you want to see us respond to Iran threatening our president? Let me know in the comments below. What should we do? Please make sure to like and subscribe. Totally free. Cost you guys nothing at all. Huge, huge boost to the channel. Hit that bell. All notifications turned on. You won't miss a thing. And then right here, Instagram, David_Hookstead, XD_Hookstead. That's where you can find me on social media. My DMs are wide open. Please reach out with whatever you got. As always, I will keep updating you with any information we have. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time.
Did you watch the one he was talking about that he put out today earlier? That was a pretty
Welcome in, everyone. I hope you guys are
this ain't the one we just watched.
doing great wherever you're watching from today. I'm filming this on January 14th. We have
Let's check his other channel out, or his other video that he released earlier.
Welcome in, everyone. I hope you guys are doing great wherever you're watching from today. We have some major news as the United States has begun evacuating bases in the Middle East as a bombing from President Donald Trump on Iran could come at any moment. We are moving our people out of the way, assuming that, or anticipating, I should say, that Iran will strike back. Iran will launch ballistic missiles at our base. And now we are rushing to get our people evacuated, other than those who must stay to operate the air defense systems and also operate any aircraft that will be at those bases. So we have a lot to get into. We have multiple rapid updates we are going to discuss, as well as statements from the government of Qatar and a lot of news. But before we get started, as always, please make sure to like and subscribe. Totally free. Cost you guys nothing at all. Huge, huge, huge boost to the channel. Comment with your thoughts below. What do you think the evacuation means? Do you think we are now guaranteed to strike Iran? What targets should we hit in Iran? Do you want to see the Ayatollah go down? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that notification bell. All notifications on. You won't miss a thing. And then right here, coming at the bottom of the screen, Instagram, David_Hookstead, XD_Hookstead. If you have any information you want me to know, any tips, please reach out. Follow me on both sites. My DMs are open on each. Now let's get into it. As we cover on the Tuesday Night Live, I'm filming this on January 14th. On the Tuesday Night Live that we filmed yesterday, we are on the brink. President Trump has been briefed on a variety of different strike options for Iran in response to the mass killing of innocent civilians. The death toll ranges anywhere from 10,000 to more than 20,000 innocent civilians that were mowed down by the Iranian government. There are now thousands of people who are locked up in Iran as the government says they plan on mass executing the protesters. The situation is beyond horrific. It is downright evil and sadistic, and President Trump has made it clear that we have every intention of bombing Iran and striking Iran in retaliation for what the Iranian regime has done to its people. The regime is on the brink. We have the ability to tip the scales, and it appears that's what we intend to do. So I'm going to put this on the screen. This says from Ocean Defender, the United States has begun the process of evacuating hundreds of troops from the Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar, the largest air base in the Middle East, ahead of potential military action ordered by President Donald J. Trump against Iran. Troops at the base are being moved to other facilities and hotels in the region, taking them out of harm's way should an attack trigger retaliation from Iran, according to a U.S. official and a person familiar with the matter who spoke to NBC News. Now, I'm going to put this on the screen. So this is not just rumor. This is a statement I have translated into English, an official statement from the government of Qatar announcing that the evacuations are underway. It's a statement issued by the International Media Office in the state of Qatar regarding circulating media reports about the departure of some individuals from Al Udeid Air Base. Again, this was initially released in Arabic. I have translated it here in English for you. It says, with reference to media reports circulating regarding the departure of some individuals from Al Udeid Air Base, the International Media Office affirms that such measures are being taken in light of the tensions currently witnessed in the region. The International Media Office confirms that the state of Qatar continues all necessary measures to ensure the safety and security of its citizens, residents, giving this the highest priority, including measures related to the protection of its air and military facilities. The International Media Office further notes that should any developments arise, they will be announced through officially approved channels. So the government of Qatar has confirmed on the record that the mass evacuation of the U.S. airbase, Al Udeid Air Base, which is the biggest air base in the Middle East, which Iran previously tried to bomb over the summer. I believe they launched roughly 15 or so ballistic missiles at the base. That didn't really do much damage. Our interceptors got the job done. The evacuation is underway. This is exactly what happened before we bombed them in the summer. This is the greatest sign yet that President Trump has made the decision. I'm going to put this on the screen for you now. Give me 1 second. Hold on. I'm going to get this up on the screen. So what this says is satellite imagery from last year showed Al Udeid entirely evacuated ahead of aircraft by June 17th, prior to the U.S. bombing of nuclear sites in Iran on June 22nd and Iran's retaliatory ballistic missile attack on the base on June 23rd. So if we watch here, this is June 9th. You can see what the base is. And then by June 17th, it was evacuated. So we moved our stuff before we bombed them in the summer. And now we are moving our stuff again. This, my friends, and I'm speaking to you as directly as I can, this, my friends, is a clear sign President Trump has begun the operations to bomb Iran. This is the clearest sign yet. In terms of when the bombings could start, this comes from Reuters via Fatex Network. 2 years.
They just went through a 12-day war that they fucking didn't do good in, didn't they?
European officials say U.S. military intervention appeared likely, with one saying it could come in the next 24 hours. So that was this morning. That means a strike could happen tonight. I'm not saying it will happen tonight, but it could happen tonight. European officials now believe we are possibly as little as 24 hours away from the United States of America bombing Iran in reaction to the Iranian regime, the Ayatollah Khomeini, murdering their own citizens. We're not tolerating.
Yeah, see, now I heard one report today that it was 2,400, and then somebody else was the same number, but it was 24,000. So there's no telling what they're doing.
We're not standing for it. Now the United States of America is opening a strike window to hit Iran. Also, what you see on your screen here, it says U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio spoke Monday with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to discuss the situation in Iran and the possible response by the United States, with another call planned for Wednesday. So we are now currently in communication with the Israeli government on what the plan is. What are we going to do? How are we going to hit them? You can.
Why are we planning with the Israeli government?
Every dollar you have, if we go in, the Israelis will be involved in some capacity. Now, does that mean it will be their fighter jets, their intelligence? I don't know. I cannot say. I do not have access to that information at this time. But we can say with a high degree of confidence, the Israelis will likely be heavily involved. Speaking of the Israelis, they are running drills for the evacuation of Bibi Netanyahu. It says Israel's prime minister's aircraft, The wing of Zion appears to have taken off from Israel. So what they are doing, they ran drills this morning. They ran drills for getting Bibi out of the country or to get him to a safe location if a mass attack happens. If a Iranian ballistic missile attack happens, they might move Bibi. They are running the drills for it right now. On
Shit,
top of
they ain't
that,
running
the
the
Israeli
drills. They done got that
defense
motherfucker
missile
out of there.
systems are on high alert with air defenses repositioned for any possible threat from Iran. Israel has gone on high alert. I repeat, Israel is on high alert. They have moved their missile systems. They have moved their air defense systems. They are getting ready to rock and
Old ass
roll
shit.
in case the president of the United States orders.
What's up, Copper Top? I'm looking at them old ass wheels on that motherfucker. You mean tell me that high-tech missile systems got them raggedy ass fucking Dayton wheels on it? Jesus Christ.
The attack, which appears could come now at literally any point in time. We are in a code red situation. I repeat, we are in a code red situation. Now, we talked about this yesterday night on the live. President Trump has made it crystal clear. If the executions of the protesters, which are supposedly
BBC,
already
huh?
underway
Big
or
black
scheduled to start today in
Yeah,
Iran,
baby.
if those happen, it will seal the Ayatollah's fate with the United States moving in hard, fast, and in brutally violent fashion. Let's watch President Trump.
They're going to start hanging protesters tomorrow. So it comes back to the question, have they crossed your red line or has the line moved?
I haven't heard about the hanging. If they hang them, you're going to see some things that I don't know what your where you come from and what your thought process is, but you'll perhaps be very happy.
What do you mean by that?
We will take very strong action. If they do such a thing, we will take very strong action.
So
fuck
President
you mean?
Trump
What do you mean
vowing
by that?
we will take very strong action if they execute the protesters, and that's action we have to take. We do not have a choice. We cannot let this level of evil go unchecked in the world. Also, President Trump on January 13th announced Iranian patriots keep protesting, take over your institutions, save the names of the killers and abusers. They will pay a big price. I've canceled all meetings with Iranian officials until the senseless killing of protesters stops. Help is on the way. MEGA. Help is on the way. Now, I want to pull this off the screen. I want to talk about the bombers. We have bombers that are always strategically placed around the globe that are on alert status. The bombers are ready to go.
Shit, they warming them
motherfuckers
motherfuckers up right now.
And
What
while
you
the
talking about?
military is not going to be public about where those bombers might be at any point in time, the military is not going to be public about what bombers might be used. I can tell you with a 100%.
Yeah, me too, Chad. I doubt they make it.
Degree of confidence, we will always have a strike package on alert. That means right now, while I am filming this and while you are watching this, our bombers are ready to go if President Donald Trump orders them to go into Iran and start smashing targets.
Fired up,
whether
Maverick.
that's government targets, military targets, or the Ayatollah himself, our bombers are on alert status, ready to roll. And remember, when we did Operation Midnight Hammer, we sent a decoy package of B-2 bombers. We sent them west, while the real package then secretly flew east and linked up with F-22s and F-35s. When we hit, we do it covertly, we do it quietly, and then all of a sudden you just see the bombs make impact. We have the best military in the world.
Dude, you can't be telling people that. So now when they see the decoys up flying, they know something's coming.
We have the best military planners in the world. We have the best intelligence in the world. And I can promise you that when we uncuff ourselves and we decide it's go time, nobody's stopping us. And that is where we are at as of me filming this video. The evacuations are the clearest sign yet. We will bomb Iran. They are the clearest sign yet. We are absolutely going to
Light
hit
them
this
up,
evil,
baby.
sadistic regime, as we should. We cannot let them get away with what they've done. The world has a generational opportunity here, and I urge President Trump to take it. But I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. How do you think this unfolds? How do you think this plays out? Let me know in the comments below. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Totally free. Cost you guys absolutely nothing at all. Huge, huge, huge boost to the channel. Hit that notification bell. All notifications turned on. You won't miss a thing. And then right here, Instagram, David_Hookstead, X, D Hookstead. That's where you can find me on social media. My DMs are wide open. Please reach out with any tips you have. And as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.
Yeah, I don't want to see a war, but I mean, what do you do? Let's listen to this is the fighter jet dude.
So Iran's military just reported that they are now on red alert, and Iran's streets are on fire with protests that started over empty wallets of basically the entire population. But now the population is screaming for the whole regime's head. And just yesterday, the top brass of Iran slapped that label we just talked about, military, full red alert, and they're ready to slap back at any suspected U.S. intervention is what they're saying. We're talking right now, 2,500 protesters reportedly dead in under 3 weeks, internet blackouts, and President Trump staring down options that could light up the skies over Tehran. Again, so to
Bro, ain't it crazy that he claims that, but yet this ain't what he's talking about. He's talking about shit that just don't make no fucking sense. He's repeating news that's fucking 2 or 3 years ago. He's so fucking lost, poor fella.
me, this isn't just another Middle East rumble. This is the kind of spark that could actually create regime change in Iran, because right now the population is furious on a level that we haven't seen before. Let's pop to X for some updated breaking information. So as you can see here, it looks like support for President Trump with posters going up. This is a very tragic sight. This looks like body bags here from the protesters that have been killed. This video coming in here is talking about how Iranians in the protests are cheering for President Trump. Basically, President Trump is their last hope. I mean, when it comes to a brutal dictatorship like this, that's literally slaying thousands of people, the only thing that's going to speak to them is force, in my opinion, at this point. So there you go. That makes sense to me too. President Trump right now, likely in the situation room, pretty much around the clock, getting information about what the strike options might be.
Yeah, we heard him say it. What he wanted to see was world peace. That's what he wanted, but unfortunately, that ain't what's happening. What's up, Hillbilly?
So throughout this video, we'll be diving into exactly what those strike options could be in a hypothetical situation at the very end. And something that I'm going to really dive into in this video is how stealth drones could tip the scales with the best intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance in the entire world. We'll be hitting on those stealth drones and how those could be involved as well, and how the regime right now is wobbling in Iran. But without the US's help, it looks like it's probably a snowball chance in hell that these people could actually take back their country. So will the US strike? We'll see here in the next few days, but let's dive in and let's talk about the tech that could be used if it does, and then some of the geopolitical fallout that we could see happen after the strikes. It's kind of like that bad ex who texts you all kinds of crazy things before the breakup, and then at the end says, "What do you mean, text? I never did that."
Oh my God, don't ever leave me. Never. Good. Because I'd find you.
You, just you, building your app on Base 44. Describe it. And it's real. One thought leads to more thoughts. Layer by layer, taking shape. When you need your tools, bring them in. They just click. Okay.
But let's break down the threats that Iran has here and what they are likely going to use if the U.S. does strike. So under Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei, who's been calling shots there since 1989, he's supposedly the unyielding guardian of the Islamic Revolution, basically the religious zealot that's oppressing his people. He's blending clerical iron fists with the IRGC, Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps muscle. So it's like you have a religious zealot who's not afraid to use absolute deadly force against their population. So very interesting combination there. I think even Dr. Evil just threw up in his mouth a little bit at this point. But these protests kicked off December 28th of 2025 over the rial crashing to 1.34 million rials per dollar. That's 52% inflation. That's biting into basics like bread, fuel, and shortages that have people lining up for hours just to get a few slices of bread. But by now it's day 17 and it's exploded to 222 spots across 78 cities in Iran and 26 provinces, with crowds hitting 1,000. And here's an interesting post on Truth Social from President Trump that kind of highlights how big this actually is in the country right now. President Trump posted yesterday on Truth Social, "Iranian patriots, keep protesting, take over your institutions, save the names of the killers and abusers. They will pay a big price. I have canceled all meetings with Iranian officials until the senseless killing of protesters stops. Help is on its way. MAGA, Make Iran Great Again, President Donald J. Trump. So as you can see, Trump's kind of pulling out all the stops as well, encouraging the protesters across all these different spots to actually go ahead and take the country if they can, at least as much as they can. Basically, corruption is the number one ruler and the number one way that Ayatollah Khamenei has been
You trying to get Carl over there, huh?
ruling his
You like that Manny the tranny?
population, and the people seem sick of it. But the real gut punch here are that the security forces have gone basically medieval on their population. IRGC and police are firing live rounds, shotgun blasts loaded with metal pellets, tear gas choking out whole blocks of people, racking up 2,500 confirmed kills, including 12 kids, thousands wounded, and hospitals in spots like Lam province are straight up raided. Gas canisters being tossed into ERs that are treating some of the protesters who have been injured. So again, the regime is basically giving the big middle finger even to protesters who have been injured. And then arrests, it looks like over 10,000 have been scooped up in sweeps, no warrants, just vans vanishing people into black sites. And who knows what's happening to them once they get into those black sites. They've killed the internet nationwide starting on January 8th, dropping connectivity to about 1% of normal because they don't want any viral videos or coordination happening on the apps. But it's been said that many Starlink terminals have been delivered to Iran. So hopefully we can get a lot of these people back online to see what's actually being done to the population and so that they can organize. And Ayatollah Khamenei has called for the judiciary wing of Iran to show up with quick trials that will likely lead to executions. And those are supposed to start any day now. In 2025 alone, those judiciary trials doubled from what they were yearly to 1,922 hangings, all to try to brand all of these folks in Iran that don't want the Ayatollah in charge as foreign agents. So anyone who doesn't want to be oppressed is now being called a foreign agent at this point. And this is kind of the recipe that we see when it comes to these dictators. Even Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro didn't really have any Venezuelans protecting him in his inner circle. It was all Cubans because the people of Venezuela were tired of being oppressed. And so it's kind of the same thing that's happening in Iran. He doesn't want anyone around him who disagrees with his religious ideology and his extremism. And if they do, they're now a foreign agent and can be hanged. Underground polls peg the public opposition right now at about 90% from what I can find on X. But here's the rub. There's no unified leadership amongst the protesters and the internet's been blacked out. So that means it's flashes of fury right now and not a sustained storm that can actually take down the regime. But there's been some whispers of regime cracks in the IRGC versus regular Artesh army strains. So the Artesh is less fanatical. They're not exactly the black wing of the military, just going out and doing the bidding of the Ayatollah. So there's been some whispers of defections, and their budget right now is hemorrhaging loyalty because they don't have the funds to keep paying all their regular military. So they focus on just paying the IRGC, which is basically the strong man of the Ayatollah's mafia. Oh, and that red alert that the military claims to be on, that came from a senior IRGC commander. It's code for the highest readiness, mobilizing units across the board, vowing to smoke U.S. bases in Iraq or the Gulf if Trump pulls the trigger, which is what they did before as well.
Is he going to sing them to death?
It's basically their way of saying, we're really strong and we're really tough and we have an itchy trigger finger, so don't mess with us or we'll bite your ankles. That's kind of like that annoying chihuahua that's going to bite at your ankles. Now, don't get me wrong. They're not nothing, and never underestimate the enemy. But at this point, it's all propaganda with Iran. If you look back to June of 2025, when a lot of the strikes were happening, they were releasing ridiculous propaganda because they're in an echo chamber. They're basically operating in a vacuum where the emperor has no clothes on and none of the inner circle is telling them that. They're just kind of that loud, angry guy at the party who's on steroids telling everybody to leave him alone or he's going to punch everyone in the face. That's kind of the go-to of the playbook of regimes that get to this level of insulation. But let's shift gears to what Uncle Sam might throw into this mix, and especially if Iran keeps killing their protesters, which it looks like nothing is lighting up. In my opinion, they're going to keep doing it. They're just going to try to hide it better at this point. So let's talk about the birds and the robot.
You are the weakest link.
That could answer that red alert without us diving into a full-on boots on the ground situation. So the top of the list, and this is kind of how presidents operate, their first question is, what are the B-2's capability? Where are my B-2s at? And the B-2 Spirit is Northrop Grumman's Flying Wing. It's a stealth icon that originated in the 1980s. It's It's got a 172-foot wingspan. It looks like it has all angle stealth to me, with the B-21, the follow-on to the B-2, actually adding onto that and being more all-quadrant stealth even than the B-2. But it's got composites on it and basically radar-absorbent materials that can ghost radars. And here's the deal. It's got about a 6,000-mile unrefueled range, which is insane. So this thing can take off from most parts of the world, strike that part of the world, return home, and be back in time for dinner. That's perfect for deep punches from afar, and it tees up targets for ground inserts, basically prepping the battlefield like nothing else can. And then on the unmanned side, this is where the US is likely operating right now, and the regime can't do anything about it. So it's the RQ-170 Sentinel. That's Lockheed's bat-like stealth ISR, intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. For you all waiting on the acronyms, that's their drone. It's a slim flying wing that's about 66 feet across.
Man, I seen some of these drones out there at the airport where I do some of the tire work on them tankers, and let me tell you, there's something to fucking look at.
It flies on a single engine and it goes up to about 50,000 feet, and it can loiter for up to 24 hours. It can slip into denied airspace to map IRGC movements or protest hot zones in real-time video and signals intelligence. The signals intelligence is huge. Think of this thing scooping up any type of communications from the IRGC. There's basically nowhere they can hide. And the intelligence coming from this thing is likely being pumped directly to President Trump during his hourly briefings on this situation. It looks like there's no weapons on this thing yet, and it's proven to operate over Iran before, but in 2011 it looks like this.
I couldn't get up close on it, but from what I could see of it, I was like, holy shit. But they got the Apache helicopters out there and all kinds of stuff. But you know, I'm just a regular civilian, and I'm escorted on and off the place. But just from what I did get to see, I was like, holy fucking shit. They also take them helicopters and do them for what's that shit, simulation. A dude was telling me that they all link together. They can be training all over the United States, and it's just badass shit. But it's all simulated fighting and all that they set them helicopters up. That's what they do with the old wore out helicopters. They strip them for all their good parts, and then they send them out to be simulated trainers.
Thing went lost link and was actually captured by Iran. Were they able to reverse engineer it? I would say not in any meaningful type of way, maybe in a structures way on how it looks, but from the aspect of actually doing what this thing does, I don't think Iran can touch the capability of this thing, even having had one in their grasp. But the bigger brother of that is the RQ-180 from Northrop. That's a 130-foot wingspan beast that, to me, it mimics the B-2. It's got the same smooth lines. This thing looks like a sports car of the skies. It's got twin engines for 24-hour plus endurance at similar heights as the RQ-170. It hauls even more advanced sensors. This thing can spy on the Ayatollah while he's hanging out with one of his wives and while he's trying to keep his wife in one wing of the palace while he's getting his girlfriend out the other side. But it could feed live data to Q strikes without risking pilots. And this thing queuing live data to F-35Is from Israel or to F-15E Strike Eagles that are already in theater right now. And these things are the bruisers of the sky. They carry so many weapons, and they've got an advanced ASA radar that just makes it highly capable. They've got twin PW-229 turbofans that pump out 30,000 pounds of thrust each. It can get up to about 1,800 miles per hour, which is just insane. With external fuel, it can go close to 2,000 miles, which is huge. And it can be loaded down to go up against drone swarms, which is likely what we'll see in this situation. Should strikes happen in Iran, they're just going to launch hundreds, if not thousands, of these drones towards Israel and towards U.S. bases. So getting these F-15Es up there with their rocket pods, their laser-guided rocket pods, where the weapon systems operator in the back can actually laze these rockets onto these drones, is just next-level technology. So basing those F-15Es right there in the thick of it, it's like having a parking spot for your Batmobile. It's convenient for a quick drop-in, and you've got an exit strategy at all times. All right, so let's game out a real-world situation if this should go down and President Trump gives the green light. So this would likely kick off with a pair of RQ-170 Sentinels launching from a carrier in the Arabian Sea. Their stealth skin would help them blend in as they ghost in 400 nautical miles inland at 50,000 feet, just doing orbits over Tehran. They've got high-res electro-optical cameras and signals interceptors mapping IRGC red alert mobilizations in real time. They'd be spotting convoys that would be raiding hospitals, and Quds Force brass hunkered down in bunkers trying to protect themselves, piping encrypted feeds back to CENTCOM for target packages without a single blip on Iranian radars, which is just insane. That would cue in B-2s, which would roll in, lobbing GB.
Hell, is Durkee even out of jail yet?
31s from over 40,000 feet, penetrating any of these positions for the IRGC and the top brass of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. They could even target the Ayatollah himself, whether they actually take him out or they start to target things around his palace. Hey, Ayatollah, remember that pool that you loved? Well, that pool is now a crater in the earth thanks to the B-2. So they could do suppression, basically send a message to the Ayatollah, or at this point just decide to...
Bro, hey, Chad, talking about shit that they let us know about and what they don't. Think about what that guard was saying over there for Venezuela, how that shit made their nose bleed. They had never seen anything like that. 20 men took out hundreds of them. That's fucking crazy.
To take the Ayatollah out completely. And a lot of that would ride on the fact of whether intelligence assessments said that the Iranian population could actually take over and control Iran with some sort of leadership and not have a massive power vacuum where illicit actors could come in and be even worse than the Ayatollah. Because remember,
hey, somebody ought to sneak in over there and go party with Bo and steal all his fucking baseball cards. He'd be pissed.
The Ayatollah's at the top, Dr. Evil at the top, but then he's got hundreds of underbosses underneath him, like a well-oiled mafia that could just step in and take his place. But a follow-on RQ-80 would likely take on the shift from those RQ-170s, and they would slice in for 24 hours over top of Tehran, queuing in Tomahawks for destroyers to tag missile depots. Because again, Iran has started to rebuild many of their missile depots that they used to strike Tel Aviv with during the 12-day war. So this isn't boots on the ground. This is layered pressure, which could last for months. That's the big thing here. With a situation like this, you could basically do retrenchment, which is when you go in, you strike the head off the snake, and then you go back and you wait. With this strategy, who knows? The regime could crack without boiling into a wider war in the Middle East, even though they're not going to go down without a fight. What do you think? Do you think that we'll see strikes in Iran here in the next couple of weeks? Let me know in the comments below. Would love to hear what you think. And then go ahead and follow me on X, follow me on Instagram. I'm posting there pretty much every day. This is Ryan, also known as Max Afterburner, signing off. So Iran's military just reported that.
Yeah, that dude's got to be fucking hating it. But hey, look at it this way. At least he's fucking sober. Because God knows he ain't been sober for fucking long. Mister, I've been clean for fucking 15 years. I don't know. It's looking like it's heating up for sure. Like I say, though, I don't want to see no war. I really don't. A lot of people get disconnected from fucking death, you know? And the last thing I want to see is people get killed. But unfortunately, it's going to happen. And it is what it is, you know. Sober as the Holy Ghost. Yeah. Smacking yourself upside the head and screaming you're sober as the Holy Ghost don't look too good. Bro, did y'all see the mailman's fucking little Instagram today? That shit was fucking funny. Oh, shit. Oh, hell. Rusty put a fucking video out. He was supposed to go live. I don't know if he fucking was still doing it or not. Let's see, make sure. Because the last thing I want to do is let me check his posts. No, he ain't got nothing posted. All right. I know he had talked about it, but I guess he's not with it. So. Let's see what this independent news is talking about.
Worth the risk to intervene in Iran. Iran says that it will retaliate in the instance of U.S. strikes against U.S. assets in the Middle East. What do you say to U.S. service members about why it's worth the risk to intervene in Iran.
Drop your cocks and grab your socks, motherfucker. It's on. That's what he's telling them.
Yeah, Iran said that the last time I blew him up with the nuclear capability, that which they don't have any longer. So Iran said that the last time. They better behave.
That's what he said last time. Holy shit. Look at this motherfucking funny looking creature.
So I'm checking some of the messages people are sending me as well. I appreciate you writing in.
How does this motherfucker have 22,000 people watching him and he's not even fucking talking? He's got 22,513 people watching him. He's not even saying shit. That's back.
And it ended up flying around Iran. Everybody, it is Steve Luckner with Agenda Free TV. There are signs that a U.S. attack on Iran to protect the protesters may be close. We're going to bring you breaking news.
He's got Carl knows for sure.
Updates here.
Woody Woodpecker looking
Flight
ass
Radar
motherfucker.
24 says a new notice to air missions just issued by Iran closing airspace to all flights except international flights to and from Iran with permission. Notice is valid for a little more than 2 hours. This was issued by Iran. This notice. And
Now,
it
didn't
said,
the motherfucker just say that they got the internet completely wiped out over there? How in the fuck? Why would they even be posting on the internet? That's the type of shit that I don't think most people catch when they say shit like that. I'm like, what? So how in the fuck do they have the internet knocked out and around and these motherfuckers posting on X? Shit don't make no sense.
says
Oh yeah.
Tehran, I guess airspace closed to all flights except international civil
20 membership.
something else. I have to run this through
Hey, I don't know.
ARRDEP flights to from
ain't hating on
Tehran with prior flight permission from Iran Civil Aviation Authority. So again, as Flight Radar 24 says, Iran issued a notice closing airspace to all flights except international flights. I believe it says to and from Tehran. Oh no, to and from Tehran airspace, to and from Iran with permission. Here is the airspace of Iran according to now this is from Flight Radar 24. Now, when you see black here, that means it's not being actively tracked. That's just an estimate. So the black line is when when active tracking stops. So this plane might not be here right now. Yeah, this is the same thing here. But again, international flights are allowed to come in and out
What's up,
as
smart
long as
mouth?
they have permission. But that's interesting that they would issue that. And let me try to get you some more updates here. There's speculation that it could be imminent. An attack by the U.S. could be imminent, but I just have no idea. Yes, Iran time right now is 1:57 a.m. Iran time, 1:57
So
a.m.
if they go on attack, they'll probably do it within the next 2 or 3 hours. Because we all know they like to hit at night. Just like Uncle Will. That's right, baby.
So again, Iran has closed its airspace to all flights except international flights in and out of Iran that have permission to be there. So seems like Iran thinks something's up.
Well, of course they do. Boy, this motherfucker's bright right here, ain't it? All right, let's go. That dude ain't.
Iran says that it will retaliate in the instance of U.S.
Thank you. News in his. Thank you so much. News with Snacks and Joe South Oz.
Yo, so have you ever seen like those ads on Instagram for mobile
Nah.
games?
Yeah, I've seen those Temple Run, Clash of Clans. I've seen all that.
So if you intend on winning a war, it's kind of important that you have soldiers who are actually willing to fight for you. Apparently, nobody gave Vladimir Putin that memo. Russia's president believes that he can obscure the brutality of what goes on in Ukraine with offers of massive pay packets. However, even those monetary promises no longer seem to be enough to convince Russia's soldiers to keep fighting. They want to stop. And Putin doesn't seem able to convince them that dying horribly to complete his special military operation is a good idea. Mass surrender has erupted in the Russian army as
How in
Putin's
the
troops
fuck do
refuse
you burn a tank down like that? That's got to be some fucking heat, baby.
to fight. Putin is losing control of his own men, which gives Ukraine an important advantage as the war heads into 2026. Back on December 31st, United 24 Media reported on data published by Ukraine's coordination headquarters for the treatment of prisoners of war that flew a little under the radar as 2025 came to an end. That data showed that a remarkable number of Russian soldiers have been captured since Putin launched his full-scale invasion of Ukraine, and even more interestingly, 2025 has brought with it the highest number of surrenders to date. How many Russian soldiers have been captured by Ukraine? More than 10,000 and counting in a little under 4 years, which is a number so massive that it begs the question of why it's happening. We'll cover some of the answers to that question throughout the video.
That ain't but 4 prison fools. That's not a lot of fucking men.
However, perhaps the biggest answer is that Ukraine has set up a project designed to enable Russia's soldiers to submit themselves for capture, no matter where they are on the front lines. That program is called I Want to Live, and it's one of the many examples of creativity that Ukraine has showcased ever since Putin started his expansionist war. I Want to Live makes a very attractive offer to a Russian soldier who wants to get out of the war. You can visit the I Want to Live project on its own website, where you'll immediately see that it offers multiple lines of communication that a Russian soldier could open up with the program.
Hey, you think we can enroll Martin in that?
Among those lines is a
Let's do it.
chatbot available directly on the website, along with a link to a Telegram channel and a Contact Us page that a soldier can use to send messages to their potential Ukrainian captors. Therein lies the
Who got a VPN?
genius of the entire concept. Ukraine isn't only offering peaceful surrender to Russia's forces, it's also making it as easy as possible for Putin's soldiers to throw in the towel. All it takes is a quick
I'm surprised motherfuckers ain't put him on fucking Tinder yet. Or
message. The
Grindr.
wheels has
Put Martin on the front line. Yeah, he could be the chef.
set in motion. I Want to Live also makes plenty of promises to the surrendering soldiers, with full compliance with the Geneva Conventions on the treatment of prisoners being front and center. That treatment alone is better than what many of Russia's soldiers receive in their own military, making surrender an even more enticing proposition. The soldiers are also promised detention in decent conditions, along with 3 meals daily, medical care, and the ability to contact
The shit y'all say about me don't bother me. That's why I'm gonna strike all y'all videos.
their families. Sensationalistic, though not necessarily untrue.
Look, even the fucking military man got a fucking knife, Martin.
Reports in December have claimed that some Russian troops are so hungry that they've plotted to eat their comrades, which tells you what you need to know about the food situation for Russia's military in Ukraine. It's not good. And I Want to Live takes advantage of that fact. The program also offers the captured soldiers a voluntary route back into Russia by way of prisoner exchange programs, or if the soldier
He tosses salad, Red Fox. Remember that. He tosses salad.
prefers, an opportunity to seek shelter in Ukraine or another European country once the war is over. In other words, some Russians are not only surrendering, but they're surrendering so hard that they escape Putin's clutches altogether. In fact, it was I Want to Live that publicized the data that United 24 Media shared in a Telegram post that highlights the growing trend towards
That's
surrender
fucking-
among Putin's fighting
You can't believe that shit though, Ringo.
forces. The number of Russians surrendering is increasing year after year. In 2025 alone, more Russian servicemen were captured than in 2022 and 2023 combined, the Telegram statement read. On average, 60 to 90 Russian armed forces servicemen surrender weekly, reaching 350 per week in August 2024. Since June 2023, Russian soldiers have consistently been captured more often than Ukrainian servicemen in Russian captivity. This is interesting data. And there's plenty more where that came from. Some of the numbers shared by the project reveal
You
that
damn
what were
sure wants to
previously
make out
rumors
with
about
political pyro, don't he?
the state of Russia's military are actually true. We'll start with the demographic.
What kind of
data.
man talks about another man's fucking face and molds and shit that he's got? It's like, come on, bro, and their fucking beard. Why are you checking that man's face out like that?
According to United 24 Media, the overwhelming majority of those captured, around 83%,
If you trade any type of crypto whatsoever, you need to listen up. I'd like to present to you guys the
are rank and file soldiers.
Huh,
These are typically
doing
going to be
grinds
infantry
instead
and
of
other
smashing.
low-ranking soldiers whose jobs will usually be to charge headfirst at Ukraine's drones while desperately hoping that they might survive. Only 13% of those captured were non-commissioned officers, with a minuscule 3% being officers. Not all of the soldiers will have volunteered to be captured,
I
by the
missed
way.
that, Red
So what
Fox.
we're seeing here is that Russia rarely places officers in a position to get captured, instead preferring to let the cannon
I
fodder
seen when he burned a fucking chicken.
use an unsympathetic but not
saying
inaccurate
fires on
term,
the bike.
put themselves in Ukraine's firing lines. It gets more interesting.
Chad, how long you think it takes him to warm that bicycle up in the morning and get the heat on?
A surprising number of the captured soldiers don't come from Russia. About 7% of the 10,000 captured, which amounts to around 700, have been identified as foreign mercenaries contracted from 40 different countries. Between 2 and 3 new foreign fighters are being discovered weekly, United 24 Media adds. Contract soldiers in general make up a large portion of the capture numbers. About 76% of those captured are contract soldiers, many of whom have come from Russia's prisons or private military companies.
Martin, can you
Mobilized
get-
individuals account for 19% of the captures, and conscripts who Putin claimed would not be sent into battle when he started his war make up about 5% of the capture.
Hey Martin, how's the property coming? I own all this place. I was like, damn. You ain't been here a week yet. It's all yours.
It looks like Putin was lying. If you have legs and you can hold a gun, you're good enough to die in Ukraine. In interviews with captured soldiers, Ukraine has also discovered that Russia engages in deceitful and sometimes
Say him and old Dick Nose is doing makeup tutorials together.
coercive campaigns to recruit soldiers. Furthermore, many of those soldiers have criminal backgrounds or histories that would otherwise make them vulnerable to lucrative contracts that the Kremlin waves in their faces. Almost a quarter of the 10,000 captured soldiers reported that they were coerced or misled into joining Russia's military. That alone is revealing. It tells us that about 1 in 4 Russian soldiers really don't want to be where they are because they were forced to be there or lied to about where they were going. For a leader who demands unquestioning loyalty from his soldiers, Putin certainly seems to be keen on giving them as many reasons they can find to abandon his cause, starting with hiring them when they don't even want to be part of that cause. Putin also favors the criminally inclined, with 40% of those captured having criminal records for offenses that range from theft, assault, drug-related offenses to homicide. Around 38% of the captured soldiers were unemployed before they found their way into the Russian military. 30% hadn't completed high school, and only 7% held higher education degrees. We're starting to get a picture of the Russian recruitment strategy. Using coercion and lies, Putin is recruiting what could be considered among the most vulnerable in Russian society. He focuses on the poorly educated, perhaps because he believes that this segment of people
Hey, all bullshit aside, why wouldn't you put out them first on the front line? Why would you put your smartest people out there to be? I never have understood that, but maybe it's just because I'm not fucking in the military. But I wouldn't put my youngest and brightest on the front line for sure.
is more likely to sign up for the rubles because they won't be able to earn anything like what the Russian military offers any other way. As for criminals, they have the choice of staying in jail or heading to Ukraine. And it implies a lot about Russia's correctional facilities that so many are choosing Ukraine. Then there are the sick. Ukrainian officials say hundreds of those captured also suffer from chronic health conditions, including HIV, AIDS, tuberculosis,
That's right up
diabetes, and mental
Martin's alley
illnesses,
right there.
United 24 Media reported. We mentioned earlier that these statistics confirm a lot of past rumors about reports of the Russian military.
Oh, Dr. Carl Martin.
For instance, the Telegraph reported back in September 2025 that Dmytro Zhmylo of the Ukrainian Security and Cooperation Center had revealed that Russia was using 6 soldiers to assault the embattled city of Pokrovsk. Those soldiers often have the diseases mentioned in the I want to live provided figures, and they're even forced to wear armbands that identify them as, for want of a better word, infected soldiers that Russia can use as cannon fodder in its assaults. The infected units are equipped similarly to other Russian military units, In fact, their level of provision is identical and quite low, Milo told The Telegraph in September, adding, "The only difference from the healthy military personnel of the Russian Federation is the various markings of the infected, namely the presence of special bandages. As for the undereducated that Putin's recruiters seem to target, their inclusion in such high numbers in the capture figures is indicative of what the BBC called Russia's transformation of war into a social ladder." In January 2025, the outlet noted that financial incentives have been Russia's main recruitment tool. Recruits at the time were being offered advance payments that were 450% higher than they had been previously, along with wages up to 600% higher than the average Russian income.
Damn.
That's a pretty tempting carrot on the end of the Russian stick. Putin just doesn't tell those on the lower rungs of Russia's social ladder that the stick tends to lead them into the path of Ukraine's drones. Russia's leader completes the deception by positioning service in the Russian military as the chance for the soldiers to take their place among the elite of the country's society. For both the undereducated and criminal elements that make up such huge portions of Ukraine's reported captures, that's a very tempting proposition. We will certainly continue to rely on such people in the future. They are the true, genuine, and authentic elite and pride of the country, the BBC reports Putin is saying in December 2024. Is it any wonder why so many who fall into the categories we've covered earlier sign up?
Sound like some bullshit. Oh, this motherfucker still ain't talking.
Oh, Nick B mentioned that Faytux News said Al Jazeera is now reporting about the strike group, the carrier strike group too.
Iran says that it will
Let's go to Algeria. What the fuck is this? I ain't what we clicked on. No. Damn, all these motherfuckers fighting. I wonder what kind of little. Oh shit, y'all ain't watching. My bad. My bad. My bad.
I helped create the Mercy program.
The clock, you can't stop.
You have 90 minutes to prove
of strength. If ordered, this is the force that would move to encircle and besiege Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces strongholds in Aleppo Governorate.
What we're witnessing is the redeployment of Syrian military forces from areas of operation around the country.
You know how much balls you got to have? Fucking yeah, I realize that, Ringo. Sorry about that. You know how much balls you got to have to even be over there reporting that shit?
In to battle lines being drawn around Deir Hafer and Maskana. This represents how committed the Syrian government is to counter areas currently under SDF control.
A familiar power struggle is now playing out here. The government in Damascus is pushing for a unified state with a single army under central command. From their entrenched positions in northern Syria, Kurdish-led forces.
Why does that shit look like American fucking armor? Can anybody answer that for me?
Autonomy. What Syria becomes next may well be decided in places like Deir Hafer.
What's up, Inferno?
And right now, that future looks increasingly unlikely to be shaped through dialogue. Hamaima is the last village before Der Hafer. Unrest in Aleppo, the buildup of fighters and soldiers, the sound of both sides exchanging gunfire and artillery. People living in and around the operation zone are at breaking point.
People are leaving out of fear, but many don't know where to go. Wherever you go, there is bombing. We want to be stable. We want to live. I swear, we're tired.
Front lines are once again cutting through Syrian villages, where people say they just want to live in peace and hold on to a simpler
Well, fuck, they got an espresso machine. They can't be doing that bad.
The divide between our people is big. We wish for peace for
probably the
both
shit we
sides and
left
everyone.
overseas.
We want to live as one Syrian nation, a mix of ethnicities, backgrounds, and religions. That's how we've been raised.
Syrians living on the edge of this latest flashpoint say they thought the war was over. But amid the ruins of Syria's last civil war, for some political divisions now matter less than a shared fear that Syria's next war may already be unfolding. Zain Basravi, Al Jazeera, Der Hafer district, northern Syria.
Still ahead here on Al Jazeera, a beauty obsession. Why South Korea could start putting hair loss on health insurance.
They just shit going on all over the world. You know, they say that in the end times, man, everywhere going to be fighting. So, all right, y'all, I'm fixing to check my motherfucking ass up out of here. Remember, stay safe, stay prepared. And they've been fighting here since the dawn of civilization. I know, Ringo, some of these, it's sad too when you really think about it. Think about growing up somewhere like that and never seeing peace. It's fucking sad. All right, we'll catch y'all later. Appreciate y'all hanging out. Peace.